Oh, you know what I love?
Sports.
Love sports.
Sports.
When it comes to Texas A&M.
Where are you getting this information?
Let me tell you.
Welcome to TexAgs.
It's here. It's time. There's always a buzz in the air when you hit this moment.
He is a guy that has gotten better and better and better. He's just got that dog in him.
We will develop men. We will graduate players, and we will win championships on the field.
I think of him as this hawk. Before long, he's going to be swooping in on those quarterbacks.
And they embody what the school is about. It's about getting into hard situations and getting ourselves out. It's about working hard. It's about doing amazing things.
And this is a real program. It's not fake. This is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
You know, if I'm betting on anybody, it's the Aggies.
We have a really hard job. I mean, if you think about like eating lobster and steak, but not getting, and then having to work after that, and then flying across the country and getting in at TexAgs at 2 a.m. and being here early for, I mean, this is like digging ditches.
When did you get lobster?
I didn't. I just felt good.
I ordered something that was supposed to have lobster in it, and I'm still looking for the lobster.
Yeah, you're still looking for the lobster. We're kidding. We are so blessed to do what we do, but we're back here at the mothership that we call TexAgs, and I don't know how to like rank this SEC Media Days, because there's two ways to look at it. There's like the A&M side of things, like expectations, right? And then there's like how we as a company did, and that we'll put that on the side for an internal meeting. But I thought A&M had a very solid appearance at SEC Media Days. It wasn't flashy. It was just, here's the info, goodbye.
You know, I'll take it further than that. I really think, I mean, look, Summerall, with the way he was at Florida, the way he spoke.
I like him.
He impressed a lot of people. But, you know, I think this was my 20th one.
Okay.
And there were certain guys, you never wanted to miss Mike Leach. You never wanted to miss Steve Spurrier. You know, there's a couple others like that too. I think we've gotten to that point. And I'm not talking about Bryan College Station, you know, the Texas media. I'm talking about everybody. I think we've gotten to the point where Mike Elko's the guy that nobody wants to miss. And it's not because he's funny necessarily. Yeah. He can be. But maybe some of the Aggies out there didn't laugh at, you know, some of his jokes, but or one in particular. But it's the well thought out answers that people like.
But
and the no nonsense.
But that's if you're listening for information. If you want to be entertained, right? Like Lane Kiffin, you think you're going to be entertained, and then you oftentimes are not, right?
Yeah.
He's entertaining, but he's also a little bit socially awkward.
Well, I think he didn't want to answer any questions this week.
Yeah.
So
he had made up his mind on that.
So he did a filibuster for 18 minutes.
That's a veteran move. That's just quality.
And then when he was asked the one question about what he said in Vanity Fair about, you know, there wasn't enough diversity in Oxford, and that kept him from getting good players, even though they had like 25 drafted under him. And
a bunch of NFL picks.
Then he starts talking about Hulk Hogan.
He's a real American.
So he just did everything he could to avoid.
Yeah. I think Summerall's got potential to be must-listen to press conference.
I will say in 20 years of covering that event, it was the first time I heard anybody use profanity. And then two people did.
Yeah.
The one guy that I was kind of put off by was Pete Golding.
Really? I find him very likable.
Well, his reaction to the accusations of tampering, I thought, are you denying that you did it? I think you did, but boy, it sure seemed like there was a lot of evidence to the contrary.
I thought Will Stein was intriguing today. We'll see how their season goes and then how intriguing they feel. Silverfield, I don't think moved the needle very much.
I'll give him a pass because you talk about walking into a really tough spot. Will Stein was asked, hey, why should what's going to be different at Kentucky and why? What is the reason that you think Kentucky can be successful now when they haven't been successful?
Yeah.
For so many years. He said, me.
Clark,
And some people will take that as arrogance and won't like it, and other people say, well, that's confidence. I love it. So,
well, do you remember how we felt about Cignetti when he was like, Google me, I win?
yeah, I remember that. Wow, what an arrogant guy. And then I'm like, he did. He's the best, one of the best coaches ever.
It's, again, in this social media age that we live in, people are looking for gotcha moments. And it can work both ways. Told you and gotcha, right? So when Mike Elko makes his comment about the trophy case, people take it two different ways. One way is to be like, dude, that is, what's the word I'm looking for? He recognizes where they are, right? And then there's the others like, I can't believe their coach said that. Like, there's both sides.
Yeah.
And that's because the culture we live in, and we're so divided, especially on social media. Like, he said this. And then 3 months later, oh, yeah? You're the state institution? Like, people like to hold on to comments to come back to. I love how Coach Elko is so transparent and just no nonsense.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he'll do a joke or two, but it's like no nonsense. I actually thought Sark was, a couple times I've heard him talk about A&M. He's kind of kind in a competitive way, and I kind of like. I know he says other things that upset our fan base, but I thought he was pretty kind.
He's, you know what? He's professional.
Yeah, professional, better word.
He gives a professional answer. What Mike does is that a lot of coaches don't do. Mike answers the question that has been asked of him.
Yeah.
And he answers it well. Whereas, like I talked about Lane Kiffin, and not just him, but a lot of coaches will get a question and they'll just completely ignore it in their answer, or they'll just touch on it and take it somewhere else. I'm not going to answer your question. I'm going to answer what I want to answer. It's like a politician.
Yeah, it is a politician. It's also, I made this comment, I think with the fan show guys, I don't remember, but it's like a behavioral interview. Do you remember those interview questions you would get, when you're interviewing for a job, and they're like, tell me a time that you struggled with a coworker. Tell me and there are these questions where you're supposed to.
Glad no one ever asked me that.
Yeah. Well, yesterday. No, I'm kidding. And you have like 5 answers that no matter what they ask you, you can apply. And that's what sometimes these coaches do.
Right.
I've got these 5 canned answers. Whatever they ask me, I can apply this one or I can apply that one.
Exactly. I saw a political interview this week, and the guy would ask someone this very straightforward question, and they would do all this word salad to do anything except answer it. And that's what we see sometimes with a lot of coaches, but not with Elko.
From all these coaches, okay, let's say Quinn had eligibility left and he wanted to play football. All right, like he had a great offseason, and all these SEC coaches call him. I want you to tell me, and I'll just go through the list, who you'd want your son to play for. Okay? Like, okay, it could be I don't know, or it could be yes, or it could be no. Okay?
Okay.
Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah.
Okay? And then I want like an emphatic yeah if it's an emphatic person.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah. It'll be, I'm only going to give you a yes or no.
Okay.
But I'm going to give you
I'll know
a
from
different,
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, Silverfield.
No, because he's at Arkansas. But
yeah, Golish.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I got one for me, it's a big yeah. Summerall.
Yeah.
Yeah. America. Kirby. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Stein. Will Stein.
Well, wait a minute. Does Quinn have to be driving when he's playing for Kirby?
No. He's going to take those little moped.
Okay,
things.
then yeah.
Will Stein. TBD.
But I said
Yeah, you got to do yes.
Yeah.
That's a lot of yes.
So but I don't have to pay tuition.
Right. Okay, either way, yeah. You're getting
so yeah.
You can be picky. Lane Kiffin.
You know what? I just said he had 25 players from Ole Miss get drafted. So yeah.
Okay. Mine's a no there. I think he's a great coach, and I
want him to coach him in football, but not in life.
Boom. But I also want my football coach to be an extension of my values.
Okay. But you know what? If that guy is an extension of your value and he's, 4-8, a couple of years, he's going to get fired. So,
well, again, though, Quinn's a 5-star. Everybody wants him. He can be picky in this situation.
He's probably going to Indiana.
Okay. Levy.
No.
Okay.
No.
Drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brent Venables.
No.
I think maybe.
I have nothing against Brent Venables, but I just don't. See, I'm already breaking the rules because I'm thinking more because he's at Oklahoma.
Yeah, not the state.
Yeah, I know.
The man.
You know what? I really don't dislike Oklahoma, the state. I really don't. I just grew up not liking Oklahoma.
I would prefer never to go back to Oklahoma City. That's just me, but Pete Golding.
I don't think so. I think I'd say no.
Okay, I got one for you.
Okay.
Shane Beamer.
No. I mean, he's obviously, if he's your coach, he's a nice person.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit of a dork.
Yeah.
Sorry, Shane. I'm sure this is going to get back to him. Like it did. You said something that got, and he's talking about. That guy at TexAgs.
Yeah.
Yes, a guy at TexAgs called you a dork, but this is why. All right. So I have a reason.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit over the top. He's out of control sometimes. I want my coach to be in control.
Yeah. I think I would like him if I knew him, though. He seems like a guy like, oh, he's cool. He's all right.
Hey, by the way, did you think Steve Sarkisian looked like he was trying to, except for the jacket, dress like a Yale leader?
I gotta go back and look. Somebody remind
He
me.
had like a white suit on with a gray jacket. But
Well, what about Sark? He's likable.
I can't tell you anything that I would look at him and say, no, not for that. Look, does he have his past demons? Yes. And maybe that would scare people. But I've told people before, my dad was a raging alcoholic and he got himself clean and everything was better. So I really can't, I haven't seen anything about him that I'd say, no, man, I don't want my kid playing for him.
Yeah, and I'll say this. I recognize that school being a very good education. My wife went there. They have a lot of pride in athletics. But my children know there ain't no way, I don't care that my wife went there, that they're going to the University of Texas. Sorry, that's the way they were raised. And they know it. They'll tell you.
Right. So it's kind of like one of the others, when I say in Oklahoma, it's not that, but you're saying, would you play for the coach? What if he was coaching at any other school?
I think once you go there, you got to stain. Sorry, babe. I love you too, Raheel. Boys crack.
So, you like Jamie Morrison?
I love Jamie Moore. He worked there, but he wasn't the main guy.
Oh, okay. So now it's working there. You got.
I love Jamie Morrison. All right, Clark Lee, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
He might be number one outside of the next one I'm going to ask you. Mike Elko. Heck yes.
And I know people say this is very provincial opinion because he's the coach you cover.
Yep.
Look, Mike isn't walking around being buddies with us. He's not saying, hey, meet me at Walk-Ons and we'll go get some burgers and beer.
He didn't invite you?
No, he didn't.
Oh, it was a great time.
A lot of people don't. Like Alex Miller.
Yeah. He invites people to go eat.
Well, he got married, and I was like, oh, you got married? Gosh, the invitation must have got lost in the mail.
I feel bad for those.
I gave him a hard time about that. I hope he sees this. But what were we talking about?
I don't know. Coach, you would play for.
Oh yeah, Mike Elko.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's not buddying around with us, and sometimes he even gets rankled and makes remarks, and you have to have a verbal joust. At least he and I have one or two, nothing major. But first of all, he's a damn good football coach.
Yep.
And
he's also very smart.
Yeah, and it seems, it seems like his players really like him.
They do. What I love about him and people like him, there's a structure.
And you know what? If you want to be really good at football, that's a real program. And so if you want to be really good at football, it's a place to be.
That's a good memory right there. Well played. One guy I didn't ask you about, Josh Heupel. Maybe.
But I don't dislike Josh Heupel.
Yeah, but here's the funny part about this whole exercise we just did. One day, if one of these coaches ends up being the coach at A&M, and they're going to like, remember when Nuno said no to Sark?
Well,
he's not going to be the coach at A&M. First of all, Elko's going to be here for 30 years.
I want that to be the case. Elko will be here for like 30 years, and he turned down Penn State, so that makes you feel pretty confident that he's here for the long haul.
Let's hope so. Hey, I don't know. Do you think they know what they're listening to?
Well, they ought to. It's the TexAgs Live.
It's the TexAgs Live.
Well, it's TexAgs Live, and it's brought to you by
I was going to say the Go Hour, but you were talking about the actual one after David.
Yeah, sorry to say Go Hour.
Did. I wasn't
wait a minute, I got to get it right.
Yeah, David Gardner's Jewelers.
Yeah,
David, Julia, whole team there.
The whole team there.
We're going to do teams for everybody. In the what?
The Rollo Insurance Studio.
They got a team.
Yeah, Jason, Jackson, Keith, Morgan, everybody else.
The Go Hour.
Okay, now the Go Hour. Brought to you by the Warehouse CC Creations.
Typically, we sit over there.
In the Holistic Planning Cool Zone.
It's so cool to be making money.
Yeah, it is. In fact, I wish I was cooler.
Yeah, I do. Me too.
Which means I was making more money.
You and me both,
but
bro.
Maybe I should, elicit some help from Holistic Planning.
And the best way to reach us is to call the what?
Oh, that's the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline.
979-693-1150. Buppy, we're waiting for football season, buddy. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Actually, no.
Because it was so good.
I overeat. Like I did this week in Tampa, wherever we were.
Yeah. Yeah. Your definition of overeating and mine is completely different. He's like, oh my gosh, I got my calendar, my calculator out. Oh, I'm a couple of grams over here and there, and mine's like, oh, the feed bag is empty. Let's refill it. Oh.
I ate with you. I think I ate more. By the way, you can text the show too.
Yeah, you can text us.
Go ahead.
On the Catalyst Pure Performance Energy
text
line. PPE.
All right, let's go around the room.
Yeah.
We'll go left to right, through the glass and the television. We say hi to, oh no, he didn't panic once this week. The panicker, Cade Bickham.
Hello. Yes, I did not panic once this week. It was actually, everything went quite smooth.
Because we did all the work.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and Nick Savage had the Zoom going real nice. You I'm pretty sure he probably had it connected to the Ethernet or whatever. But everything went real well, and y'all got some great interviews over there. So it was awesome to see.
Thank you. Give us some analysis, any thoughts, your favorite part of media, whatever. Just give me some substance here, Cade. Stop playing around without giving us substance.
Well, I thought that Marcel did a great job representing Texas A&M at Media Days. That's the first time A&M sent a quarterback since Kellen Mond, and I thought he was a great representative for the program. I thought he carried himself very well. He's said all the right things to the media, and I just thought it was a good sign to see that, especially since it is the first time that A&M sent a quarterback in a good while.
Yep. Kellen Mond.
I'd rather talk about Marcel Reed.
No, I'm just saying Kellen Mond was the last time.
one. Yeah. I thought every time Kellen's available. Kellen, there you go. Look, it's too early. We didn't get in until 2:00. Every time Marcel is available, he does. He's comfortable.
Yep.
Gives good answers. Honest, it seems to be. Yeah. I don't.
Great young man.
I don't know why they don't have Marcel at every press conference.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Plus, he's the quarterback.
Let's check in at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Kaylee Dreyer, how was your week?
It was awesome.
Yeah?
I'm tired, but I'm sure y'all are even more tired.
It's all good. What's going on in your world?
Someone on
Whoa, those shoes are... the TV can't see it, but they're like C-3PO. They're really nice.
I would like to put those shoes next to the shoes that Marcel Reed was wearing.
Okay, his were a lot nicer.
I might have you put that on the table at some point so the audience can see how good of the shoe.
Stick your foot up there.
Okay.
Come on, do some yoga right quick and stick your foot up there.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Someone in the text line.
It's nice the way the white shoes play against that black outfit.
I was more impressed with the gold.
Well, and the gold, yeah. The black, white.
Oh,
it's like a New Orleans Saints kind of vibe.
But with blue,
Okay,
right? Is that blue?
Don't say that. I don't like the Saints.
Okay,
Yeah.
the Missouri Tigers or Vanderbilt. Black,
Okay.
gold, white. Okay, get back to
What did Nagley say?
I don't know.
She said, shut up. Go ahead.
Oh, that'll make me talk
Bus
more.
driver said, "What about Mike Leach?"
He wasn't there.
Yeah, I mentioned.
Oh, you're talking about like the all-time. You said his
When
name.
it was the first one I mentioned. Yeah, Leach was the first guy I mentioned because, you never wanted to miss a Mike Leach press conference.
Never. No.
Because you never know where it was going to go.
And if you ever, did you have any one-on-ones with him?
On the phone.
He would he would talk. He was not scared to tell you stuff.
One of my favorite moments was on a Big 12 conference call. You know how they do every week? And they got to Mike Leach. They said, we got Texas Tech coach Mike Leach. Coach, do you have any, anybody have a question for Leach? Somebody asked, it's just a minute. It was just a minute. Yeah, a double cheeseburger, fries. He was at the drive-through of someplace getting lunch, and who does that but Mike Leach? Anyway, okay.
You got one more for us?
I do have one more text. Trey and Shiner said, "Y'all do a great job at the SECs. I'm proud to have Elko as our coach. He's a straight shooter and extremely knowledgeable. I haven't felt this strong about our trajectory since Jackie. Elko is going to get us to a championship."
Thank you very much for that. And yeah, I hope. I do. I hope. I feel about A&M like I feel about a lot of teams. It can go a couple different directions, right?
I think the good thing about A&M this year is that you can go into this season not knowing. And I think that's a good thing this year. And I'll tell you why. Because typically, I shouldn't say typically because it doesn't happen that A&M has 10 guys taken in the draft.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I know it's just not going to be the same. I know it's going to be a transitional season.
Right.
Which sometimes is a nice way to say bad season because you lose that much talent. But now you're saying, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They might be pretty good.
Yeah, I hope so. And I think so. I'm kind of like...
I'm fat, so.
And I'm... Nuno? Anyway, I hope so and I think so. But that schedule does in my head, because I fall for it. I allow myself to be like, God, it is a hard schedule. But then you'll tell me it's supposed to be hard, brother. It's the SEC.
And what did everybody, at this time, when we got back from SEC Media Days last year, what was everybody saying?
God, they have a hard schedule.
Man, they got to go to Texas. They got to go to Missouri. They got to go to LSU. They haven't won there since 1994. Got to go to Notre Dame.
But 5 road games.
Got to South Carolina. They're a top 15 team.
Yeah. So I believe in the process. I believe in the coach, and I believe in their off-season conditioning. So that gives me optimism. Huh?
I believe in that quarterback.
Yeah.
When their coach says, and I know it wasn't at SEC Media Days, he just reiterated it. When he says this is the best secondary I've had at A&M in 7 years, I'm thinking, wait a minute, didn't he have one with 3 NFL players in that secondary? Wasn't there at least 1 year where, was it Antonio Johnson, Damani Richardson, and Jalen Jones were all on the same?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, but this is going to be the best one. All right, I'll tip my hat to that.
All right, let's talk 1775.
Let's do. I'll tip my hat to that too.
I don't know if I'm going to catch a second wind, but if I catch a second wind, I know where I'm going to go eat. Because I'm like, look, I've already eaten above my caloric intake. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do it again.
Well, I probably won't. Here's what I'll do.
Okay.
I will leave and I'll go home and
I'll sleep for days.
I will lay down and go back to sleep, and I will dream of the succulent brisket, the amazing pork ribs, the scrumptious jalapeno cheese sausage, and you know what I'll really dream about? That queso mac and cheese. Would you dream about that, Dryer?
She's texting.
Yes. So
I like queso and I like mac and cheese.
Do you like 1775?
Yes.
Who doesn't?
Have you had the queso mac and cheese?
No.
Oh,
okay, you're done.
You gotta go.
Over.
I do want to go there though.
This is America. It's not Russia. You can go.
Yeah.
I don't mean to yell at you.
And the reason you can go, because it's not Russia, is because it's 1775. Because in 1775, America established its army.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's military. And you know what? 1775 barbecue. not only pays homage to the military, it pays homage to great Texas barbecue.
Here's my thing to you. I know you're working, but here's my thing to you. If by the time we get to next SEC Media Days, you haven't had the queso mac and cheese,
I'll go this summer before football season.
okay, all right. And you give a full report back.
Okay.
All right, I think my broken finger, I made it worse. 979, seriously, it really hurts right now. 979-492-6241.
Rub some queso mac and cheese on it.
Yeah, and I'll lick it. Okay, sorry. 1775txbbq.com. Hey everyone, David Nuno here of TexAgs Live. I want to introduce you to the team at Holistic Planning. Got Jason Barber here, Taylor Pankratz, and also Paul Meredith. Jason, I want to start off with you. What really sets Holistic Planning apart from the others?
Yeah, so what makes us different is most financial advisors stop at investment management. On the other hand, Holistic Planning, we manage investments, taxes, and estate planning all on one team, all underneath one roof.
Now, Taylor, when everything is coordinated like that, it really helps the bottom line, doesn't it?
It really does. When your investments and taxes are working together, you stop leaving money on the table and keep more of what's yours.
Paul, Holistic Planning is trying to expand as well.
That's true. We just opened our Houston office, and we're looking for people who feel like their advisor isn't seeing the full picture, because that's exactly what we fix.
And Jason, there's other opportunities beyond that.
Definitely. If you're a financial advisor and you want to join the Holistic Planning team, we're looking to add 50 teams in the next 5 to 10 years. So check out holisticplanning.com/advisors.
All right, so if you want a team that actually coordinates everything, go to holisticplanning.com. Aggies, this one is worth it. Well, we're already past the second break where we're supposed to be hitting a break, but this TexAgs Live, Obi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is. I'm tired. I'm like this guy in the song. I was awake at 25 or 6 to 4.
Yeah.
Needing more sleep.
Yeah. We're going to play some games in the next segment.
Okay.
Right now, you know what we're going to do?
What?
We're going to, in a moment, as we kind of juggle things around, go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Kaylee Dreyer. What? I gave you time.
I don't know. You guys are like delirious or something.
We're like Prince. We get delirious.
And we're like Purple Rain.
Okay, I do have an update
Never saw
on
any.
men's basketball. We were talking about Luke.
Oh, Luke, yeah. Where is Luke today?
He's coming.
Okay, good.
I'm not sure. I think he's coming.
Of course he is. He did a great job being. Were you the leader? Who was the leader this week while we were gone? Oh, Cade.
All of us.
Oh, okay. It was a team effort.
Yeah.
Kadinsky.
Aggie men's basketball revealed their non-conference schedule.
I saw. Yeah, that's what Luke was doing this week. He was fighting the Longhorns.
He was fighting us for a Photoshop Adobe account to make the graphic.
Well, he was fighting with people on Twitter that didn't like our non-conference.
Yeah, so they have 5 Power 4 matchups, 2 Big East matchups in the Bahamas, which you can see Luke at. And they also take on Oklahoma State and Stanford for the first time as part of the SEC-ACC Challenge. And they have 10 non-conference games at home, 1 in Houston, and 2 in the Bahamas, and then 1 on the road. 10 at home is crazy to me.
So this is going to be the first time they played. Hey, that can't be right. First time playing Oklahoma State.
Stanford.
Oh, you said Stanford for the first time. You said Oklahoma State. Okay. Yeah. Hey, I have to go. I have to bring the wife to that game. You ever want to go to a game to root against the team, just to root against the team?
No, I have a lot of.
Yeah, you never hate watch something.
I don't like to hate watch.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. I don't like to hate watch something from the beginning. I like to hate watch as I see it happen.
Have you ever watched like a Texas game?
I very rarely watch a Texas game. I mean, I have to for this job.
Like I'll watch the Eagles.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, Stowers, but I'm going to hate watch the Eagles. So Irma would hate watch Stanford.
Yeah, because of cows.
Because of cows.
Yeah.
So, that game should probably go to.
Let's do one more thing. Dreyer.
Texas A&M Volleyball announced that their national championship banner will be dropping in Reed Arena on August 28th.
I would rather they raise it.
It'll
They're
be
dropping
during
it?
their home match against Arkansas State.
Raising would be hard. Like you got a lot of rope. You got to go up to the top and then drop and make those sounds.
Okay.
Yeah, this show there's been no prep. Go ahead.
Anyways, that will happen in their home match against Arkansas State on August 28th. So be sure to go to Reed Arena for that.
Thank you very much. By the way, preseason kickoff
tomorrow.
Yeah, and we have the event tonight too. So we're busy.
We got a drink tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a phone call all night.
I actually had a drink when I was in Tampa. I can't tell you last time I had
a mojito.
A mojito. We were at a Cuban restaurant. So hey, Cuban in Florida, bring me a mojito.
How'd it taste?
It was good. Yeah. I like mojitos.
Yeah, I'm not going to transition from that to driving. I'm going to transition to Rollo Insurance.
You would if this was Georgia's show.
Well, good point. Let's say you're a big-time speeder. You better have good insurance. Not to make light of that situation. That being said, Rollo Insurance is going to take care of you. They're our insurance provider. They do this show, right? This is the Rollo Insurance Studio. Jason, Jackson, Keith, Morgan, the entire team are going to take great care of you there at Rollo Insurance. 60 offices in the great state of Texas. But as you know, their headquarters is right here in College Station on Highway 6. They're the absolute best. So when you need good rates, when you need somebody who's going to be able to take care of you in those tough situations, it is Rollo Insurance. You're going to have your agent's mobile number. They're going to know your situation, and they're going to take great care of you. Visit Rollo Insurance at rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs. rolloinsurance.com/TexAgs, or call them up, 888-44-ROLLO. That is 888-44-ROLLO. Welcome back to the Go Hour here, presented by the Warehouse at CC Creations on TexAgs Live. OB, got some questions for you.
Okay, I'll give you some answers.
All right, finish this sentence.
Okay.
After 4 days of SEC Media Days, I am more convinced than ever that ...
Oh.
Put you on the spot.
That Texas A&M is going to be a contender in the SEC.
Okay, the Texas A&M is going to be a contender. And we both recognize words don't necessarily mean anything. I think it's how things are said. That there's a confidence that I believe I saw from Marcel, from Damian Sanford, from Coach Elko, from Marcus Ratcliffe, right? That it wasn't cocky. It was just we know what's up.
I've always said, and I shouldn't have said that one, though. I felt that way, but I'm still hedging my bet until I got to see the offensive line myself.
But you feel better about it. How about that?
But they just seem like everybody you ask about that, and they're in it with them, and they see, they practice, they see what's, and they're like, it's not a problem. I'm thinking, are you okay? So maybe I just want to believe it because they keep saying it. And like I said, if that line is effective, then they're going to have a really good year.
Another hard one.
Okay.
What's one thing you believed on Monday that maybe you don't believe today?
One thing I believed on Monday that maybe I don't.
It doesn't have to be about A&M. SEC-wide.
Yeah. I wish I'd had more time.
We can come back to that. Yeah, I should have told you this. I screwed you over. I'm not a good friend here. Let's think about some things.
You know what? One thing I will say this. After this week, I'm not quite as. So I'm to try read the line again.
One thing you believed on Monday that maybe you don't believe today.
One thing I believed on Monday is that Tennessee was definitely going to have a disastrous season.
Yeah, and I don't know if I believe that anymore.
I don't know. They seem to feel like they're sound or excellent at every position other than quarterback. And
Josh Heupel has gotten great results from quarterbacks every year.
That's what he pointed out.
If they have a strong offensive line, which everybody says they have one of the top 2 offensive lines in the conference, that's what they say.
Yeah.
Okay. They have a strong running game. That offense always puts up points, and the defense is expected to be strong. I'm not saying they're a 10, 11 win team, but I thought they might be like a 7-5 team.
I thought they might even be worse.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking, you know what? These guys might actually be pretty good.
All right. What's one thing that everybody keeps saying that you disagree with?
One thing that everybody keeps saying that
Arch is a Heisman contender. South Carolina's going to be a disaster again.
What is one thing everybody keeps... Yeah, that Oklahoma is good one. A legitimate... I should say leading. Everybody can be a champion. A leading national championship contender. I hear that a lot. In Oklahoma, and they're going to be... And I'm like, have you seen that Oklahoma schedule? Even if they're good, they may not get into the playoffs. Look at that. Michigan, okay, they
might lose 2 games in the first month.
Has been well overhyped, but you got to go to Georgia, then you got Texas, you got Texas A&M, you got Missouri, which is no pass. Again, Michigan, I don't think that's going to be a problem. So those are 4 games that I think you're really going to be challenged in, and then you can't afford to slip up on anymore.
You can start off the season 2-2, absolutely be 3-3 before you get to the back half of your schedule. Now, the back half of your schedule is not as hard as your front half, but you do have A&M on there, and at Florida is always hard, and if they're better, they've always had talent. I don't think they were coached well before. So.
And, again, Missouri, especially on the road, is no picnic.
Nope, no picnic at all. All right. And I think we know the answer to this one. And we can give multiple, all right? Which coach to you sounded the most authentic?
Okay, besides Elko.
We can say Elko, though. Elko, boom.
The most authentic. You know what?
Because my follow-up question is going to be the opposite of that, basically.
I'm going to say Will Stein at Kentucky. Because when someone asks you, what's the difference, and you say, me, you really believe that. You have to really believe that because you're opening yourself up. Yeah. Charlie, His son's the offensive coordinator at LSU now. He was a quarterback. He was a coach at. We had him on. He was the coach at Notre Dame.
Oh, Charlie Weiss Jr.
Charlie Weiss.
Sorry.
Charlie Weiss.
Yeah.
Charlie Weiss got hired at Notre Dame. He was asked, why is the offense going to be, good? He says, because we're going to have a decided schematic advantage. And that came back to haunt him.
Yeah.
Because they didn't. And all these college coaches say, you think because you're in the NFL, you're better than us. So, well, let's
see how much better you are. Yeah.
And it haunted him forever. Still does. So when you're Will Stein and you say, the difference is me, you're opening yourself up to all kinds of ridicule if the difference is not you. So he obviously believes it.
Okay. So which coach to you sounded like he was maybe selling a little bit? The opposite of authentic. Trying to sell a vision, a dream that maybe...
Levy.
Jeff Levy?
Maybe Levy. Talked about how we're going to be this much better and we're going to have this. And our offensive line is going to be this much better. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to tell you somebody else. Now that you mentioned that was, I think, authentic, was actually Ryan Silverfield when he says, hey, I'm watching our guys, and I'm thinking, man, the videos from last year, I'm thinking,
just made some mistakes.
We're just so undisciplined.
Yeah.
We're just so undisciplined. Okay. Now, maybe it's easy to be authentic when you're going into that and you're talking about, he said, now, I'm not talking about criticizing the past coaches. Well, you kind of are indirectly, but maybe sometimes it needs to be criticized. It needs to be pointed out. And they were. So I don't know. I think. Is there any more?
No.
Jacked it all up.
Yeah. Let's see if Dreyer can come up with a question.
Yeah, Dreyer.
Dreyer, I want you to play reporter. Put your hat on, okay? And ask us 2 questions on your mind about media days. Put you on the spot. Kadinsky, get ready. You're in the bullpen.
Can I ask a funny question?
You can ask any question you want.
Which coach or player do you think had the most out of context sayings or
that OB
things
would
that
have
were
to
said?
answer that. I know that we're keeping a running tab. I don't think
It's
I heard
really
the coaches
funny.
enough because I was doing the show to answer that. OB.
The most out of context.
Or like out of pocket. We're making a video for social and it's really funny. So I want to hear what you guys
Can you give us a
have to
candidate?
say.
Just give us one.
Well, the best one that we have so far has been Lane Kiffin.
Do you remember the quote?
I remember him saying,
Well, it's the one where he was asked about what he said in Vanity Fair, which is very direct. He's saying, hey, you're saying that, and he starts talking about Hulk Hogan, and we're all going to die. That newsflash, I'm sitting there, he said, we're all going to die. I'm going to die?
Thanks.
Oh my God.
Thanks, Lane.
Yeah. That as much as anything. I'm trying to think of anything else that really stood out to me.
Yeah, I don't have the recall.
I don't think he had a lot of coaches that were fun.
Yeah.
I feel like every year there's usually 1 or 2 that are.
It's becoming Elko. And now, again, the thing that, but it's because I'm just this way, but when John Summerall's dropping S-bombs, I've never heard that. Well, I've never heard that there. I hear it around this office all the time, but I've never heard it there. So I was like, what? He said that? He said it again. So I'll say this. One thing about SEC, you can never say that John Summerall doesn't give 2 S's about SEC Media Days because he gave 2 S's.
Kadinsky, hold your question for the other side, all right? We'll come back to Cade. We'll see if he's got a question for us to answer. When it comes to preserving your farm or your ranch's legacy, it's not about capturing pretty pictures. It's not about posting them on Facebook and seeing it every couple of years on Facebook Memories. It's about just remembering the land and being able to pass what you learned on it to the future generations, those who are going to inherit it. That's what the beauty of a heritage film is. They'll do a documentary on the land that your family owns and has lived for a long time, or maybe you just bought it and you want to tell the story of how you found it. Whatever it may be, they can do those kind of stories, but they can also tell your family story. Chance McClain and his team, they are incredible at what they do. They do these 2-hour documentaries for everyone, and I'm telling you, you're going to love it. Remember, Farm and Ranch Films captures the wisdom your grandkids are going to need. Check it out, yourheritagefilm.com, yourheritagefilm.com, or call them up, 713-893-8341. It is Heritage Films.
Everybody, David Nuno here from TexAgs, here with some of our new friends from Frog Slayer. We've got the CEO, Ross Morrell, and the VP of Revenue, Jacob Stone. Ross, I want to start off with you. Who is Frog Slayer? What do you all do?
Yeah, Frog Slayer is a custom software, AI and automation company. We're based here in College Station. We've got about 50 employees right here, almost all Aggies. We've been doing this since 2005, about 21 years. Really what we do is we partner with business owners of growing businesses. And our goal is to come in, help them actually realize the promised technology in their company so they can create a company that is worth more than is tomorrow, that is today, and run a better business.
Jacob, I do want to ask you, what's different about Frog Slayer's approach when it comes to AI?
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't just do AI, we do AI right. And so what that means is we embed ourselves inside of our client's team, and we help them plan, build, and ship solutions that they can deploy to a production environment that anyone can use.
All right, Ross, I've got to ask you, why the name Frog Slayer?
Yeah, it's an old riff off Mark Twain quote. So he said, the hardest thing you got to do today is eat a frog. It's best to do it first thing in the morning. So that's kind of our ethos of doing hard things first. And it's also a nice tie into gigging.
Yeah, I love that. Jacob, let's close out. Where can we all find Frog Slayer?
Yes, you can find us online at frogslayer.com.
All right, thank you very much to both of you, Ross and Jacob. Check out Frog Slayer. Disastrous situation upstairs about 5 seconds ago.
Really?
I mean, a disaster. Okay. I go upstairs. There's no coffee made yet, so I do the little machine thing, right?
Okay.
I need a lot of caffeine to get through today. Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
Right? And this music starts for this segment, and I'm like, the coffee's still coming. Come on, come on. So like, screw it. And I take it, and I put another cup in it, and as I'm doing it, the cup hits my Yeti, boom, explosion of coffee throughout the kitchen. And I'm like, what do I do? Do I clean it and miss the segment? And I'm like, and I just say it out loud, like, oh, I'm on the air. And Jacob, being such a nice guy, goes, I'll clean it, David. I go, no. But I was hoping you'd say yes. No. I'll just miss my segment. It's okay. I got it, David. So right now, Jacob is so embarrassing. Like, I mean, explosion of coffee.
Cleaning up your mess.
Yeah, again. Like, it was literally one of these. When you see it in slow motion, just coffee in the air. And I'm watching it like a pretty rainbow of brown, which is impossible.
A brown rainbow. And it's pretty?
So where's your coffee?
All over the floor. It's everywhere.
Normally, Liucci's having to clean up his mess.
Yeah.
But now it was...
Yeah. So my apologies to TexAgs. It's going to smell like coffee for a week.
It wasn't the TexAgs coffee, was it?
No, it wasn't that one.
Okay, that's good.
It was the Snicker, what's it called, Snicker cookie?
The Keurig.
The Keurig, but the
Snickerdoodle?
Snickerdoodle.
Snickerdoodle.
Snickerdoodle coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're drinking that?
It's not. It doesn't have any sugar. It's just.
Yeah, but you just seem like a black coffee.
It is black coffee.
Guy and nothing else.
It is. It's just they flavor the beans with it, but it's not.
Right, but you just.
It's still 0 calories.
It's not. I'm not talking about the calories. You just strike me as nothing but no nonsense black coffee.
It is.
But not with the Snickerdoodle flavoring.
I needed coffee. It was there. It was either that or pink pine. Oh my God, I spit on myself. Or pink pineapple, like tea. Those are the options.
Yeah, that's what Luke would drink.
Do we waste a segment talking about my coffee? I mean, you want to smell my hands?
No, I don't.
You want to smell my hands? Smells like coffee.
Oh my.
Looks like you've been throwing the Java one.
Oh my God.
That's all I can come up with on it.
Hey, we got you guys 34, 36 interviews. I don't know what it was. I'm delirious.
We are delirious.
In the next half hour, we're going to run some of the interviews that we haven't run. They're not very long. We'll run those. And then Aiden Ross. Why did I yell his name?
I don't know.
He won The Voice. The dude's amazing. He went to Consult, right? Yeah, he went to Consult.
Yeah. Oh, really?
He'll be here on TexAgs Live. He's got a big performance coming up.
That's great.
Yeah. So I think tickets went on sale today.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I didn't know The Voice was still on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we'll talk to Aiden on, not the other side, in about 30 minutes.
Aiden.
You're listening to the world-famous coffee-dropping show, TexAgs Live.
All right, we're back. TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. Hour number 2 of the program when we are at SEC Media Days. That was brought to you by Paragon Financial Advisors. Shout out to them. We'll talk a little bit more about them in a moment. Cade, you had a question you were going to ask that I'm going to try to answer before we go to our interviews. And you had a question or two?
Yeah, I did have one. So I was wondering, in terms of not coaches but players, were there a couple, maybe 2-3 players that were brought by any of the teams that really stood out to you, impressed you?
I mean, the Texas guys were pretty impressive, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think who else caught my attention, because Arch is likable, and yeah, but again, I'm not supposed to say that, but yeah, he was very likable. I'm trying to think who else. I'll have to think on that because my brain isn't working.
All right, sounds good. And then, what did you think about Pete Golding? I thought he was pretty hilarious.
I liked him. I didn't have any problem with him. It's going to be really hard to answer questions about when you did something wrong. It's an investigation or a potential investigation of what you did. So I understand where OB's issue was with it. I also have heard him answer about it several times, right? Like, it's like, he doesn't think that they really did anything, but he understands that everything that was done is just being done in the recruiting world, the transfer portal world. So I liked him overall. I did. I thought he was really good, and I had no problem with him. I'm trying to think some of the people that really stood out. I'm going to look through the list, and I'll just tell you. Mateer was interesting. I didn't mind Mateer at all. I like when players can look in the camera and say, "Hey, it was on me. I wasn't good enough." I like that. Try to think. Kenny Minchie was pretty impressive. The Kentucky head quarterback. Excuse me. I did like Deshaun Bishop, Tennessee running back. He was impressive. On A&M Day, our guys were all great. Trying to think who else. I thought Ryan Coleman Williams did a really good job as well. And I don't know. I just think all the Aggies. I think all the Aggies did.
Alabama was one of the teams that didn't bring a quarterback. That's correct? Yes.
Correct. Hey, so I'm going to ask the audience this question that we can chew on. Which assumption from SEC Media Days will look foolish mid-season? Okay, so and you can pick the assumption. Arch is your, Heisman favorite. Alabama is not back. They're terrible. A&M has arrived. These are themes that have been out there. The portal solves everything. The portal destroys everything. Whatever. You guys tell me. We'll kind of go through it and just discuss it in between interviews here on TexAgs Live. But we're going to start things off with some of our interviews from Radio or Digital Row. Here is my conversation with ESPN's Heather Dinich. And by the way, never have spoken to her before. Never. She was walking by our table, and I think it was Callie who stopped her, and she's like, "Sure, I'll do it." And she was great. So here's our conversation with Heather Dinich of ESPN.
All right, we're here with Heather Dinich of ESPN. First time I get to talk to you, but I've seen you on TV for years. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you. So how has this event kind of grown and compared to what we've seen from the Big Ten and others, like Big Ten did Vegas, Chicago? How does the SEC's version of Media Days change compared to the others?
Well, we're here for 4 days, and it's because there are so many teams, and the media days have grown with the conferences. I mean, that's the reality of it, right? But also, I just think such an enhanced TV presence and just shows from morning to night and the availability. Quite honestly, it's refreshing because we've been talking so much NIL and federal legislation. It's great to talk to players.
Well, I was going to ask you how your role has evolved because of the business of college football. It's always been a big deal, but like these last 5 years, certainly it feels like it's a different level of big time.
Oh, it's 1,000 times different. I tell people I cover the suits of the sport now. I mean, I cover commissioners, athletic directors, university presidents, and chancellors. Right. Why do I know their names? They're running whole universities. It's unbelievable. So my job has changed tremendously, but my colleague Pete Thamel, I thought he summed it up great earlier today. He said, we have the greatest in-season sport and the worst off-season. I was like, you nailed it, because the whole rest, there is no off season, and we always used to joke about that, but now it's really real. I mean, between Brendan Sorsby and, federal legislation, I've been to the White House. Like, what? I'm a sports writer. So, yeah.
And the off season is so long. Yes, there's things to talk about. In years past, there wasn't but it's just like, eventually I just want to get to the football.
Right. Well, but the off season is long, but the runway's shorter because the national championship is the end of January. You blink and you're in spring ball, and so it's like almost like a condensed football timeline, really. In the transfer portal and coaches moving and changing, and it's more difficult than ever to come up with a preseason top 25 because even the coaches don't know who's on their rosters.
Well, like we're trying to, we know A&M as well as we can, and I have a lot of aspirations for them. I think they can be really, really good, maybe back to the playoffs good. But when half your roster is transferred, but it's not just A&M, it's everybody.
It's everybody. I mean, Florida is literally like breaking out name tags in spring after Summerall got there. So there's just so much in and out. But what I find fascinating is players who are telling me that new players who are coming in are quickly adapting, regardless of what school it is. But honestly, I really enjoy covering Army and Navy and Air Force because they are the last true locker rooms.
Yeah.
They've been together for 4 years. Like, it's the last, that's it. It's different.
What do you like about Coach Elko? What have you seen from him in your conversations? What stands out about the way he goes about his business?
I just think he's a fantastic coach, and I mean, clearly he knows how to build a program. They're trending in the right direction. What's different to me is Marcel Reed. Can he take another step forward this year? I think all eyes are on him, and I'm looking forward to talking him in our room later today. But I think that he was so close last year, and you get a taste of that, and that's the kind of thing that you can build on. The flip side of that, though, is all of these teams in the SEC, I want to say, are ranked in the top 20 in ESPN's strength of schedule metric. And here's a nugget for you. Every team in the SEC has at least a 50% chance to have multiple losses. So I don't care if you're Georgia, Texas, A&M, it doesn't matter. You're going to lose football games, right? So are you good enough to be great in November? And that's the question that I have with these guys.
I want to go back to Marcel for a moment because I feel like I've brought up a lot this week. The last 2 games stick out, but the body of work over 12 games was really good.
Yeah.
Arch, I thought, had a really good season. The last 2 games stick out.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about how you end a season is a lot of what people talk about entering a season.
It's what the selection committee talks about too, going into selection day, and that matters. You want to lose early in the college football playoff race and then build and finish strong. I think it's important, but for both of those quarterbacks that you mentioned, I think that's huge going into this season. But also, how much better are the players around both of them? That is so critical. And I think if you can bring an influx of talent with a portal, I mean, I remember talking to Elko last year. He's saying at this time last year, he was like, we're going to have double-digit NFL draft picks for the first time in, I mean, I don't know, it was forever, right?
And he was right.
Yeah, right. But to be able to have that kind of talent and consistently reload, I think is the key to that quarterback development throughout the rest of the season too.
Which is why in this era, and you could always do this, the brand matters. And what I mean by the brand, not necessarily the logo, the coach. Kirby has done it for a while. Now Cignetti's going to have to try to do it again, the replicate. Right. Elko's trying to replicate 11 wins and beyond. It's really about establishing your culture and then being able to do it again and again.
It is, and selling that in the portal, on the recruiting trail, and being able to maintain that. But I go back to what I just said, Elko's not the only one doing it. Right. Everyone is competing at this elite level, and with 9 conference games, it's more difficult than ever in this league to win it.
Yeah. Let me close out with this.
Yeah.
Do you think over the next couple of months we're going to get some kind of fix to all this? You got the recess coming up. We've got do you feel like, and maybe in the next 5 years, a college football commissioner?
I do not see a college football commissioner happening because I think the current commissioners are too clinging on to the power and the money that they have, let's be honest here, to relinquish that. But I also think that we're not going to see a fix to this immediately because I know how the United States Senate works. I know how Congress works. And there's literally a window right now of about 2 weeks.
Right.
So here's the question that I think they're going to have to answer. is a federal legislation is a bill that they're not happy with better than no bill at all. Because I think that's what we're going to get to.
Yeah.
So, and I asked Greg Sankey that. He basically said, we'll find out the answer to that when we have to make that decision, which was the most Sankey answer ever. So, but, they need a plan B, and that's what this breakaway talk is, but it's more about creating legislation within the SEC.
Heather, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks.
Heather Dennis, ESPN here on TexAgs Live.
All righty. Thank you to Heather Dennis for doing that interview. I'm so blessed to do this show with you guys. All right, so let's get to the question that I asked. All right, because there's narratives out there, and I know Kate's already got an answer for stuff. But what assumption from SEC Media Days will look foolish by mid-season? Kate, you had the opposite of that question, right? Isn't that what you had?
Yeah, I had the opposite. So one thing that I think is everybody's going to realize, like, wow, that we were bang on with that, is that Kamario Taylor for Mississippi State, that kid's going to be really good.
I agree. Couple things. The dude he's
huge.
Enormous. Like KJ Jefferson's, I don't remember how, but this guy's even bigger than KJ Jefferson.
He's more athletic.
Yeah. This guy's 6'4", 230. Last year, did not play much, but when he played was 629 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception at Mississippi State. Okay, so, and I know that they're super excited about him. They had a hard time protecting the quarterback last year. This guy, he's going to be a problem. And I think I said it at Radio Row or Digital Row, whatever they want to call it now. I'm pretty sure I said this. And if I'm repeating myself, 15 hours of radio, you'll hear things often. I'm glad Mississippi State's not on the schedule because you get nothing. It doesn't benefit you at all. They are a very hard team to beat, regardless of where you play them and how you play them. Okay? They're a hard team to beat. And if they beat you, what does it look like? And if you beat them, you're supposed to. But they can beat you. You can say that about all the teams in the SEC, I know. But after as many battles of going to Starkville and seeing how difficult that place is to win, I'm kind of happy we're not playing them. I'm okay with playing Arkansas. I do know that game last year was never really in doubt. Different coaching staff. Okay, I know. That game was never in doubt. But, if you made one mistake, it felt like they could score with you every time, right? So, but that's the life in the SEC overall. So, get used to it. So the other narratives, and Dreyer, you can speak into it. Do you think this narrative is going to be proven false by midseason? Texas and Georgia are clearly the SEC favorite.
Well, I think Georgia's schedule is by far one of the easiest in the conference, especially
and it's not easy, but yes.
Like for Georgia.
Yep.
I feel like their schedule is really easy, and so I think that they will for sure end in first place in the SEC.
Let's see. The very first time they get tested against Oklahoma, September 28th. They do go to Alabama. Auburn, we don't know who they're going to be, but you're right. They avoid Texas this year. They avoid Texas A&M, of course, because they never play Texas A&M. And
no LSU either.
LSU, yeah. So, yeah, very favorable for an SEC draw. Mm-hmm. And they're Georgia. To me, they had a hard schedule last year, and they did just fine. They didn't win the national championship. They didn't win in their playoff game. I get it. But that's Georgia. Texas, I think this year does get a much harder draw. If you put up their schedule, I am of the opinion they're going to beat Ohio State at home. I feel like they've been thinking about that game. I think Ohio State's got a lot of questions too, and they have a very hard schedule. But obviously a toss-up game. I think where we'll know how good Texas is that Tennessee game.
Tennessee and then Oklahoma.
Yeah. They've owned Oklahoma the last few years. Sark has done a great job against his rivals. But I think that Tennessee game, because Tennessee is good enough, and depending on how good their quarterback play is, they could be really good. But I think they're a team that if they can, at home especially, they can beat you. They can put a spanking on you. And like Olin said in the first hour, they're one team that I left media days after talking to several media members and hearing what Heupel had to say and the players, Deshaun Bishop, that I'm like, maybe I've been kind of cutting their legs off too early. They're probably better than I've been giving them credit for.
I feel like everyone either has the narrative of they're going to the playoffs or they're going to be awful. I feel like there's no in between. And I think it's partly because of the quarterback position. But once they get that figured out.
Speaking of in between, I think there's an in between with Arch Manning. Okay, that's the next. Because just like last year, there's this camp. He's going to be great, and he was terrible, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can't give him credit for the last 2 games only. You got to look at the. I understand both camp. When he was struggling, I don't think he was as bad as people said. When he was elite, I don't think he was as elite as people said, but he made game-winning plays. So is he already elite? He's got to be in your discussion of the top-tier quarterbacks in the SEC, as I think Marcel should be, right? And others. So I'm not projecting greatness per se, but with the weapons that he has at his exposure and with what he is able to do, I think that one will not be proven. He'll be elite-ish.
I feel like you could say the same about Marcel with the weapons he has and what he's shown he can do.
Yeah.
Well, and Arch, he managed and won the game against A&M. He managed that game very well, but when you look at the actual numbers from that game, less than 50% of his passes completed. He really beat the Aggies on the ground with his legs, being able to work the pocket, and especially in that second half, it was a lot of just he wanted it more. He wanted that win. It was a lot of grit, more so than it was him being an elite quarterback play.
Alabama. People are really down on Alabama. And I'm not as down on them as everybody else because I'm jealous they won a playoff game. I'm jealous that they got to go to the SEC championship game. And sitting in a chair as a Texas A&M, I platformed to talk about Texas A&M. It's a hard time for me to say, Alabama. What I will say is you can't lose playoff games the way they lost playoff games. I'm trying to think, guys, and you may have to do a quick Google search. When has A&M in the last few years, I'm talking even in the Jimbo era, got beat down? The Jimbo era, when things were going south, I felt like there was just stupid mistakes. But I'm talking like a beat down. When was the last time A&M got beat down?
The one that comes to mind right now, and there may be something in between this, but in 2020 in that COVID season, Alabama, that was a beatdown.
Okay.
That was the only loss on the year that season. But
I think they lost by 21 points that game, maybe?
Yeah, that game was a beatdown.
Which was the exact same loss that who had to them?
They beat everybody by that much.
Yeah.
They beat Clemson. I think they won the national championship by that many points. Yeah.
So, yeah. But I'm let's just say since 21, okay? I feel like all those losses in the Jimbo era were, a score. I know there was a double-digit loss here or there, but my point is A&M has not been embarrassed. They've been embarrassed losing to particular teams, right? They've absolutely been embarrassed losing to particular teams. But I don't, and maybe it's because I have 2 hours of sleep and I have usually zero recall, and today I have negative of that. I don't remember them just getting destroyed. Now, maybe destroyed in the trenches, but I'm saying Jimbo was really good at keeping games close, even when they were the team that should lose, right? And he won some big games too. And Coach Elko has not been beat down at all. So can you find a last beat down?
I'm looking right now. Right, I'm on 2021. I haven't seen any, but I also haven't gone through all the years.
My point is, and again, please don't clip this and think David doesn't think A&M's had some rough years. No, I'm just saying there has not, when you lose the way they did in their last game. Now, we all talk about how A&M lost to Texas and how they lost to Miami. Those were manageable games. Fourth quarter, play goes differently in Texas. You feel like you're in it. Miami, you're on the goal line with a chance to tie the game and go into overtime. But when you lose in the playoffs the way Alabama did, that's what lingers the entire offseason. So that's the part that I understand.
Someone in the YouTube chat said the 2019 game versus LSU, 50-7.
Yeah, but
also Reese Nygren found in 2024 that loss to South Carolina, lost by about 24 in that game. That was kind of a beatdown. That was after Le'Veon Moss got hurt, and then everything kind of went sideways from there.
Yeah. Well, and actually, if you remember, Le'Veon got hurt early. We fell in a 20-0 hole, I believe, or maybe 17-0 hole, something to that. It's 17-0.
Got it close by halftime, and then
A&M took the lead.
Yeah, Yeah.
Before half, and then South Carolina, I believe, hit a field goal, took the lead, and it was a beatdown. So yes, and we can explain.
Got outscored 24-0 in the second half.
Right, that was a beatdown. Yeah. So again, not many. And that one, after that, you lose the Auburn game, you lose the Texas game, and then you lose the USC game. All right, we'll hit a break here. We'll come back. We're next going to hear from Paul Feinbaum on the program. Interviewed him yesterday. Our radio audience, this will be your first chance to hear that. When it comes to your money, peace of mind starts with the right team, and that right team is Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors. They're an independent fiduciary serving clients all across Texas. No commissions, no sales pitches, just trusted advice tailored to you. They have a team of 18 professionals, including 9 CFPs, a CFA, and a CPA, and their expertise does run deep at Paragon because credentials matter, and so does your future. Visit paragon-adv.com or give them a call, 979-693-3907 to schedule your free consultation today. It is Financial Advisors, integrity, expertise, and trust. Paragon Financial Advisors. Back here on TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance Studio. We did ask the question of beatdowns in the last few years, and South Carolina came up in 24, and then Florida in 22, correct? The flu game, if I remember correctly, I believe the Florida game was when everybody had the flu, and I think A&M actually made it interesting in the first half. I'm trying to get to the recall, and Florida just took advantage in the second half. But yeah, those are games that fall into that category of being embarrassed. So anyway, let's get to our interview with Paul Feinbaum. Paul joined us yesterday on the program. We talked about Coach Elko, his expectations, and a couple jokes or two in there. Check it out. Paul Feinbaum on TexAgs Live.
Here on the show, and the great Paul Feinbaum with us. How are you, sir?
I am doing great. I was just joking about what an athlete you are. I saw you in the gym this morning.
I was making a fool of myself.
What was that? MMA or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I broke my finger doing it. I don't know if you can tell.
No.
I got this little cast I wear.
I was literally doing nothing while you were scaring me in case I accidentally got in your way that you're gonna do a side kick and a kidney punch.
I only do that just in case Billy crosses me one day. Great to catch up with you. What has this week been like for you this year in particular? Like what stands out to you?
Well, it's a little quieter being in Tampa. We lost the 300 Alabama fans that used to hang out at the lobby of the Winfrey there, but it's still to me more than anything, more than Lane Kiffin, more than what Mike Elko told us yesterday, more than all the coaches. It is a flare in the sky that college football is back. And I'll give you a quick example. I did about 20 minutes ago. I wrapped up doing First Take this morning with Stephen A. Smith. We spent 26 minutes at the beginning of the show debating Kiffin and Kalen DeBoer. And why is that important? Because that's probably the first mention of college football on that show in 4 or 5 months. And as a fan of college football, you want people to know that it's as good as we see it every day. And I realize World Cup, Knicks, all the things, but it told me, okay, the season's here. The rest of the world is paying attention. We always pay attention.
Mike Elko, I feel, and I think the national media feels this way too, is building the right thing at Texas A&M. There are question marks this year: offensive line, defensive line. Where are you on Texas A&M this year?
I feel pretty good. In talking to him yesterday, he came up on our set. Now, I always love talking to this guy, and part of the reason is he's just smarter than everybody else.
He is.
I mean, he does not, give you all the nonsensical coach speak cliches. And the issue with A&M is, can they navigate the schedule? And they have a terrible schedule. There's no getting around that. They're going to have to win some of those road games. And that will be the difference between making the playoffs or not.
I agree with that. I do think, though, he's doing it the right way. And when there's a bunch of teams in that Tier 2 that I think you can say the same thing about. Like Oklahoma, I think they're really, really good. Difficult schedule early, difficult schedule late. And they have some question marks as well.
I hate their schedule even more than A&M.
Yeah, they Ole Miss. I don't know what they're going to be like under Pete Golding this time without the rest of the pieces around them, but they should be really good. They got Trinidad.
And I read something today. It was, there are certain schedules in the SEC that are favorable. I think Alabama has one. Vanderbilt has a good schedule. Georgia. I was reading, I think it was Penn State. 3 of the top 5 teams in America are Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon. They don't have to play any of them.
Yeah.
And when you get the bad luck of an Oklahoma or an A&M, it causes a lot of pressure. And last year, A&M had the favorable schedule. They managed it incredibly well.
Marcel Reed, I think, is an interesting case study because I think he was excellent last year, but there are these question marks because of the way the season ended and the turnovers. But the way the season ended, I think, is why we're talking about him a certain way at the beginning of this year.
Listen, this show digs deep. You talk about the things that the various elements of the A&M program. From a distance, the only thing people remember is that interception.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last image. It's the one that gets replayed over and over again, and that's too bad, and it's unfortunate. I remember sitting in Knoxville last year on the Friday, maybe the Saturday morning before the no, let me think. It was Friday morning. It was Friday afternoon because the game was Friday night.
Right.
And we were planning our Saturday SEC Nation show, and we had Marcel Reed booked on the show, and the conversation was, is he now in the Heisman race? He
that
was
went
gone.
away. Yep.
That game knocked him out of the Heisman race. The CFP game against Miami damaged the perception of him. Not who he is, not who Mike Elko thinks he is, not who you think he is, but if you're a casual fan, you go,
sure.
Man, that guy,
look
what he did.
Last thing for you, let's talk about the future of college football. Do you think we're going to be able to fix this mess we're in, and not through Congress over the next 2 weeks, but over the next 3 to 5 years?
No. I don't think it's fixable because it's like if you, and I don't know anything about architecture, but if you have a faulty house and you keep putting duct tape on the problem, it's eventually going to collapse. And the problem is that college football is going to collapse. I don't know when. I don't know what the next iteration of it will be. It won't be the SEC breaking away, but it's not sustainable. College football did something really stupid. A year and a half ago, a little bit over a year ago, they agreed to this house settlement. Every school had to give $20 million. That accomplished nothing.
Right.
If they had gambled and gone to court, it still wouldn't be heard. And maybe later on they would have realized, or maybe they would have won and spent the next 10 years appealing the verdict. But it was agreeing to that and then immediately realizing our only solution is Congress. And I've heard more deceptive things coming out of the congressional situation. I'm not even sure that's going to fix it. I think it's another Band-Aid.
Paul, I appreciate your time, sir. Thank you so much. Great seeing you as always.
I will never get in your way if you're late at night if you're angry.
I won't race you on a treadmill. I saw you going. Thank you, sir.
And we're back. I didn't know we were back. Hey, Aiden Ross is in studio. We're going to talk to him on the other side. Before we do that, though, you get to hear a live spot, Aiden. You'll like this. Actually, yeah, I think so. Guarantee Bank and Trust. They were established back in 1913. They've got over a century of experience serving Texans as one of the most respected community banks. They proudly serve Aggie land as your community bank. They've got 3 great locations here in the BCS. Their market president is Brandon Sears. He's an Aggie. He is great. He's involved in a lot of things here in town, and they want to make local decisions with people that you know and you trust, and that is Guarantee Bank and Trust. Every decision is shaped by helping their community. You're going to walk in there. They're going to know your situation. They're going to take great care of you, whether you're looking for financial education, a loan, whatever it may be. Let the good folks at Guarantee Bank and Trust take care of you. The website, gnty.com. That is gnty.com. Guarantee Bank and Trust, a division of Glacier Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. I wish I had Olin here for it because he loves energy drinks. Catalyst Citrus Spark. This is one of the new flavors out there. Whether you're grinding through workouts, cramming for a test, or closing in on a deal, or getting ready for TexAgs Live, you never know, right? Fast becoming the go-to fuel for Aggies everywhere. Zero sugar, I'm all in for that. Or synthetic sweeteners, no artificial colors or flavors. Catalyst delivers clean, high-performance energy with smooth, crisp taste that is never syrupy, designed for both health and hustle. You want to get going, you use this Catalyst right here. It's about pure energy and pure results. And what sets them apart? Packed with premium nootropics blended to boost focus, clarity, and mental stamina. I need this. I'm in, guys. I'm in. Plus, with plant-based caffeine, vitamin B12, B6, Catalyst supports metabolism and energy production, making it more than a drink. It's your lifestyle training partner. Built for competitors on the field, Catalyst fuels strength, focus, and pure results. Buy now at drinkcatalyst.com. That is drinkcatalyst.com. Train harder, think sharper, pure results. It's Catalyst. Everyone, David Nuno here for Allen Honda. Had a great conversation with them earlier today. John Allen's the owner. He's been here forever, and also their GM, Rusty Skinner, great guy. Wonderful conversation. They're super local. They're a family-owned dealership, not some massive auto group, and they treat their customers like family because they basically are family. They're Aggie alums. They love Aggie sports, and they've been serving the Brazos Valley with integrity, with passion, and commitment to excellence for over 50 years, which is very rare, by the way, for the independents because people trust them. And that's why they've been doing it for such a long time. Whether you're looking to buy, lease, or service your vehicle, you can count on them for transparent,
no pressure experience that puts your needs first. And I can attest to it, had a great conversation about my own situation with them. Their knowledgeable sales team will help you find the perfect Honda to fit your lifestyle, from fuel-efficient sedans to versatile SUVs. Leasing options are flexible and affordable, making it easy to drive the latest models with confidence. And when it comes to service, their certified technicians only use genuine Honda parts to keep your vehicle running at its best, whether it's routine maintenance for major repairs or whatever it may be. And we know that trust isn't given, it is earned, and that's why generations of local drivers right here in the Brazos Valley and Bryan College Station keep coming back to Allen Honda. As part of the community with Aggie spirit in their hearts, they are here to make everyone's visit wonderful. So visit their showroom or their service lane and find friendly, efficient, and memorable situations when you go to Allen Honda. Come see why so many College Station and Bryan drivers choose Allen Honda for their automotive needs, and remember, gig 'em. We're back, TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studio. Aiden Ross in studio, Consol's own, College Station's own, and Aggie, and of course the winner of The Voice here. And he's going to have a big event September the 18th, Rudder Auditorium, before the Kentucky game, one of the biggest weekends in Aggie land, performing a huge performance. Aiden, welcome to the show.
I'm so happy to be here.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So I'm going to make Aiden, I don't know, laugh or angry on this one. We were talking about somebody on The Voice, and he's like, yeah, that guy's pretty old. He's almost 50. And I'm like, dude, I'm almost 50. I'm just kidding. So how's your life changed?
It has been, I mean, of course, the past year has just been a whirlwind. Since winning the show, I've just been in back and forth from LA so many times. But we've really just, after the show, we wanted to take the time to really work on a body of work. And I will be releasing an EP soon that I'm super excited about, and I'll be debuting all those songs and then some songs from the show at this Rudder show.
So, and I want to talk about that show in particular for sure, but take me back. I want to go, how did The Voice even become a thing?
Honestly, that's a great question. I do remember being
for you, I'm sorry.
For me, okay.
I don't know the history. Some guy named Bill started it.
I'll tell you what, I was 6 years old when the show debuted, and I remember being with my family in the living room, pretending to turn my imaginary chair and picking my team. And then college rolls around, and I grew up watching this show, and I knew music was something that I loved, but I didn't know that there was a space in it for me. And then freshman year of college rolls around, and I don't know why it took taking calculus again, because I had already taken it in high school, for me to be really trying this music thing would be cool.
Right.
And so I sent in an audition on a leap of faith and got a call back, and so forth. And then I found myself in the position I am today, and being behind, I have the entire Aggie community behind me as a foundation. And because of that, I feel like I owe it to them and to myself to give this thing the best shot.
So what is the process like? Are you shooting for, how, kind of take me through, somebody who isn't as familiar behind the scenes. Are you there for a long time? At what point did you know, dude, I might win this thing?
The win this thing is really hard because I got there for the first time, and honestly, throughout the show, I grew so much. I remember being there for the first time in LA with all the other people because they had both of season like 28 and 29 there for filming, and I just remember being there and being like, wow, like these people are the real deal. Like these are like people here to sing on a vocal competition show, and I felt like kind of like an underdog because I was a lot younger than most everybody, and also just like I honestly don't think I was as strong as some other people were at the beginning, but the entire process really just like chiseled away at me, and I think I came out the end of it like way stronger. Yeah.
So is it the coaching you got and you put your head down and did the work? Is that what you mean by chiseling?
Exactly. We had vocal coaches working with us behind the scenes. Niall particularly, I picked him originally because I thought he was a cool guy, and I was right in the sense of people always ask me what he's like, and I always say he's just a guy in the best way of like, obviously he's incredibly successful and famous and whatnot, but he is still like we're together and we're just talking about golf, you know, which is like a really cool thing to share with somebody like that. But what he really helped me with was just like finding the heartbeat of a song and being able to really just like emotionally connect to be able to like deliver the song the way it's supposed to be.
For those who don't know, what would you describe your style as?
My style, I mean, super dumbed down. It's gonna be pop, but like I'm an acoustic guitar player, and like I do some R&B runs, a little bit like Shawn Mendes-y. Like it's like these ballads that kind of have like a kick drum to it, you know?
Yeah. So Los Angeles, right? You were there for quite a while. Talk to me about, College Station. It's a big town now. It's not the town that I went to college in 1999.
Yeah, I mean, we got a Costco.
We got a Costco. We got like 3 HEBs. Like we're, but it's not Los Angeles. So was it initially a culture shock? Was it a welcome change? Kind of take me through that.
Well, the first time, being out there for the show, we were all in a hotel room. So it was almost like being at a summer camp with a bunch of people of different ages, which was really cool. But going out to LA for the first time after the show was a massive culture shock. I was alone, and it was a lot more like vulnerable, and I was really like seeing LA for the first time, and it was really cool. Like it's like summer there is like beautiful. You know, like you can walk around, you can step outside. Like I went to Aggie Park like 2 nights ago, just to like play guitar and like hang out, and I was there for 20 minutes, and I was soaked. Exactly. But it's not quite like that in LA. But it's definitely harder to like find your community out there. But I definitely think I found it. One of my buddies, Cole Swenson, he was on America's Got Talent about a year ago, and he is just incredible and an incredible human. I'm super blessed to have met him. Like he's I think he's literally like an Aggie. Like he feels like an Aggie.
So you talked about your style of music, but who are some of the influences? Like when you were growing up and you were singing songs, who were you singing? Who were you modeling yourself after?
I think how I became stronger at singing was actually just by singing songs that were way out of my league. And some of those songs would be like "If I Ain't Got You" by Alicia Keys. Like I still can barely sing it. But it's songs like that really pushed me to be better. But as far as like from an artist standpoint, I really like some of like the rock elements of Shawn Mendes' stuff, but I also like the emotion from like Daniel Caesar, and then growing up with like John Legend was a household name for my house, like All of Me, songs like that, Ordinary People, all those songs are very like cumulative in my artistry.
Yeah. So excuse me for not knowing, what is life like after The Voice? And I'm not meaning like going to stores, although we'll get into that. Like, what are the expectations? What do you think your life's going to look like from a work perspective for the next 12 months, 36 months?
After winning the show, I stumbled upon an incredible management team, and I kind of decided for myself that like I really wanted to do things the right way, and having grinded so hard for all those months on the show, I wanted to take a step back and really just work on like writing and like creating a body of work to like show everybody and be like, hey, like you guys gave me this platform and helped me and voted for me to win this show, and now I want to take a step back and like work on something to give to you guys. And that has been this EP that I'm going to be releasing soon and playing at the show.
So when you got invited to Los Angeles, did you in the back of your mind think, this will be fun, I'll just take it as far as I can and we'll see? Or were you like, I'm going to find a way to be the biggest thing possible?
I think it was definitely both. It's really hard, like, especially when you're there with that many incredibly talented people. It's really like at the beginning, I was definitely not like, oh yeah, I got this at all. But I was like, wow, these people are talented, but they're also incredible people. And it was really cool to see how of course it's a competition because one of us goes on and one of us goes home. But it didn't feel like that for us. Like we were all helping each other with our songs, like choosing which high notes to do or which runs, whatever. And really just helping each other be the best versions of ourselves. And so that was a really cool aspect of the show. Like the relationships you see on the show are like you can't fake it. Like they're so real. And now I have some best friends like all over now.
So you grew up wanting to be an Aggie?
Of course.
Yeah, living here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we moved here when I was 3 months old, and so it's been College Station for all I can remember.
Yeah.
And my mom was an Aggie, my brother was an Aggie, sister was an Aggie, I'm an Aggie. So
yeah, and you're taking some classes still.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and you can do that. Is it remote classes? You can take them anywhere.
I can. Okay. It's really. I'm actually really fortunate. I think. As crazy as COVID was, there were a couple cool things that came out of it. Specifically being that there are a few online classes that like go towards like my degree that I can still do, and it's really cool because those classes are kind of grounding for me.
Yeah.
Because it's really, I get into the rabbit race sometimes with the music thing, and so to be able to step back and be like, okay, like I finished this assignment and I turned this in, is really nice. And also just like staying in the community, like that's something I really want to do this year. Is I want to be in the Aggie land, and I want to be here because like honestly, I just miss it. Like I love these people so much.
Well, and do you follow Aggie football?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
We had a really great season last year, and I think we're going to do it again this year. So.
I hope so, man. I hope it goes even further. You've been to Kyle Field for games?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So you've lived the whole thing, right?
Yeah. No, literally, I've been an Aggie since before I started college here. I'll be technically in my junior year this upcoming.
Yeah. Okay. And then talk to me about the 18th. Like, let's get deep into it. People can buy tickets right now, right?
Exactly. Tickets are public right now. Get them while you still can. I'm so pumped for this show. It's going to be the first show of this size that I've really ever played. Because even for like The Voice, like I had the massive online audience, right? But actually, there were only about like 300 to 500 people. And Rudder being a 2,500 person show is pretty big. And I'm also going to be playing like a lot of original music, which is going to be like a pretty vulnerable thing. But I'm so freaking pumped. And people are going to be able to make a whole weekend out of it. I'm going to make a weekend out of it. I'm going to play my show, go to the Kentucky game, and have a great time.
Yeah. And how did the idea come? Like, I mean, did in the back of your mind, you're like, one of my biggest shows is going to be home?
It was always that. There was always going to be a homecoming show. And we had been trying to plan this for months. And I'm so glad that we were able to land it.
Is it almost, and I don't want to call it intimidating, but that's the only word I can think of right now, to do it, because you said vulnerable in front of people that you've grown up with and known, and it's your community. It's different than when you're doing it on a stage and with the cameras around you, right? Or doing it in Los Angeles where people know you, but they know you these people here have known you since you were a little kid, right? So you said 6 months old when you moved to town?
Yep. That is, that's a really, it's a bit of a difficult question because it is really true that singing in front of 5 people can be scarier than singing in front of 100 because you're looking into the eyes of those 5 people. And so there will be a piece of me that's like, wow, like all these people that have watched me grow up are like seeing me do this now. But at the same time, like I've always loved music. And if you knew me, you knew that I loved music. And so part of it's a lot of it's less fear and more just like excitement to show like, hey, like you supported me since I was like a baby.
Yeah.
And like, here I am doing this like for you and for me. And it's really cool.
Before I let you go, remind the audience who some of your judges were and a little bit of the backstory, because you were telling me Snoop Dogg gave you something?
Yes, Snoop Dogg gave me a chain, actually. So he gave chains to all of the people that were on his team, and I was not on his team, but I really wanted a chain. And so after the playoff round, I was like, Snoop, I know I'm not on your team. What do I have to do? And he was like, you've been had one your way, man. So I reminded him at the finale, and then The night that I won, his manager delivered me a rose gold chain. I should have brought it.
All good, man. Well, you know what? Hopefully you can join us again before the Kentucky show, and you can bring it then.
For sure.
And I appreciate it, man.
Thank
Wonderful
you so
meeting
much.
you. Congratulations on all your success. We'll be watching, all right?
Thank you.
All right, we'll hit a break. We'll come back with a short final segment on the 9 o'clock hour before Billy joins us here on TexAgs Live. I'd like to get a necklace from Snoop Dogg. That'd be cool. Could you see me with a big old necklace?
Like a chain?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, necklace chain. Yeah.
I feel like
chain.
you could go to those meetings.
Yeah, I go to the meetings. I want a big Jesus piece. You know, like just big. All right. Like superhero emblem.
I could see it.
Yeah.
You should have had it in more to media days.
Yeah, you're right. By the way, as a reminder, the final segment of the program is brought to you by Double Dave's. That's at 10:50. But right now, caller number 12, 979-693-1150. We're going to hook you up with your choice of a dozen pepperoni rolls or a large one-topping pizza from Double Dave's. They've been serving Aggie Land since 1984 with your favorite pizza and, of course, those world-famous pepperoni rolls. Reliable in-house delivery bringing piping hot goodness straight to your door. Just click on doubledaves.com and your favorites are on their way. My friend Steve sent me a text.
Okay.
And he says, David, you're way too chipper to be coming home at 2. Do I seem chipper to you?
I feel like you're just delirious, like tired,
That's exactly
and
what
so
it is.
you're trying to make the best of it, and you're just saying whatever comes into your head.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Mhm.
Yeah, audience, do I seem like my normal self? Do I seem delirious? Are you even listening right now? And if you are, why? I ask you why, people. Why are you listening?
Okay, what do you think? Am I being normal?
Yeah, sure.
Bro, you can't, you're getting a little too cocky, all right? Yeah, sure. Like, recognize who runs the show.
You run the show.
Do I? All right. I think we have Billy coming up. If not, I'll just tap dance for an hour and I'll go to bed right after it. You're listening to the world famous. And when I mean world famous, I mean people from the Ukraine listen to TexAgs Live. David Temple sends in a hard-hitting airtime eating segment there, but your smile is invigorating. David, I don't know if that was a compliment or a punch in the gut. Paul Feinbaum said, I don't even remember what we talked about. You remember? You don't either.
No, I don't remember. Huh. Oh, Delirious.
Oh, Eddie Murphy Delirious, one of the best stand-up comedies
of all time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Our audience, I know we got a bunch of old people listening. I guarantee you many of them, those olds. Yeah, it was great, Aiden Ross. Yeah, he's 50. Whoa! I'm kidding, Aiden. I'm totally kidding. Anyway, you said Coach Oko went on Pat McAfee? Is that what I heard you say?
No, Nick Saban went on Pat McAfee.
Oh, Nick Saban went on Pat McAfee.
And he had a lot of high praise for Elko, and I do have those quotes right here.
Okay, by the way, Billy Liucci should be joining us here in a moment, I think. If he hasn't joined us in the next 4 minutes, we'll call him. Cheerio.
So Nick Saban said, I'm a Mike Elko guy. In terms of what he's done at A&M, they had 10 guys get drafted. That's more than they've ever had. They've got some of the highest rated recruiting classes, which they've never had in the past. And when they did, they fell apart. They've won more games. They've played better defense. He's one of the best defensive coaches in the country scheme-wise. I think they've reloaded. They've got some good players coming back. I think Marcel Reed is a really, really good quarterback who puts a lot of pressure on the defense. And I think they did a good job in the portal, and they did a good job recruiting. I think they're going to be one of the teams that people need to contend with in the SEC, no doubt.
Okay. First off, Coach Saban, I like you even more right now. I didn't like you when you were the coach at Alabama because you would beat us often. But I like that praise. So I want to take those in parts. So I feel like you said 18 things.
Yes.
So maybe let's do 3 or 4 things at a time, and let me discuss. Okay. First, the first stanza, if you will.
He said, "I'm a Mike Elko guy in terms of what he's done at A&M. They had 10 guys drafted. That's more than they've ever had. They've had some of the highest rated recruiting classes that they've never had in the past, and when they did, they fell apart."
True. And Coach Elko said that from the very beginning, right? Mm-hmm. Like, hey, we got to get more guys in the NFL. And that is a true marker for success in this league and beyond. So I am, yes, exactly right. And Coach Elko identified an area that needed to be better. And it's not just picking the talent. It's about getting that talent and what you do with that talent. Either not only developing them, making sure that they see their path to the field and excelling. And when you have that on a chalkboard, I don't even have to use chalkboards. What are they, dry erase boards?
Dry erase, yes.
When's the last time you had a chalkboard in your class? Have you ever?
I have no idea, actually.
Like when you were a kid, was that a thing?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember when the last time was. But.
Okay, yeah. So dry erase board, and you can point out, look, this is what we did at this position. We put these offensive linemen in the league. Look at this secondary. Look at this wide receiver. Look what KC was already highly regarded, but look what he did when he got here. He became the best wide receiver in America. So that's something that Coach Elko can point at, and it then makes for people like Anto Saka, who's like, dude, I want to be the next Cassius Howell. I'm going there. Right? CJ Mims like, I'm going to play on that D-line. This is what they do is they put people in the NFL. More people on this defensive line than anybody since Coach Elko got to Texas A&M. So those are all markers that he can point to and be like, all right, this is why you should come here. What else did Saban say?
He's definitely proven he could do that. And so I feel like that's been a big reason why he's done so well in recruiting. But moving on, he said, they've won more games. They've played better defense. He's one of the best defensive coaches in the country scheme-wise.
Yes. And which is why it is exciting to hear him praise the secondary the way he is. Now, I forget who we were talking to on the show yesterday. They're like, dude, they got to get more interceptions. Yes, they do.
Roman Harper,
thank you. Thank you for the memory. They do got to get more interceptions. They can't drop them, and they got to get them, right? So you're exactly right. But what Coach Elko has done such a good job at doing is, and you know who else was good at doing this back in the day was Buzz. Like, if there's something to identify, if there's an issue that you've identified, you do what you have to do to fix those issues. And I think Coach Elko has done a phenomenal job of doing that. Let's get through a couple more of these before we call Billy.
I think they've reloaded. They've got some good players coming back. True.
Yep. Yeah, they do. The reload question is yes on paper. We will see on the field, but the track record, again, of people that he has developed and picked has been very high. So, yes, agree with the reload.
I think Marcel Reed is a really, really good quarterback who puts a lot of pressure on the defense, and I think they did a good job in the portal, and they did a good job recruiting.
People remember the end. That's what they want to remember. And, of course,
And the end wasn't, I mean, like I can justify, I can make excuses. We all can, right? And you can listen to it from a different fan's perspective and be like, you're just coping. Look, we have never said that he doesn't have to get better. He has to raise that floor. But his ceiling was really high last year. Like, there were times he was the best quarterback in America. I know Fernando got the Heisman, but like, there were moments, and again, you want moments to be seasons, right? You want it to be long. But there were moments that he was playing out of this world, but people like to focus on the very last part. We're talking about Nick Saban's comments about Coach Elko and Texas A&M that he said on the Pat McAfee show just yesterday. Billy Liucci joining us here on TexAgs Live. Hey, buddy, how are you?
What's up, Dave? How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, so what was your takeaways? And I know you don't like those kind of questions, so I'll try to be a little bit more specific.
Let's get specific.
Okay, let's get down to brass tacks, shall we? All right. To me,
I've been interviewed 76 times in the last 4 days, so this should be no problem.
Yeah, well, I've done 119 interviews in the last 4 days, so I'll just ask you the same 29 questions.
Is it really 119? I wouldn't be surprised if you counted.
No.
I would count. I'm interested.
No, I think we did count how many hours of exclusive content we had. Do you have that number, Kate? He walked away. It's ridiculous. Richard wrote an article about it.
Good.
That being said, this was a takeaway I had. I'd like for you to the confidence that I heard the players in Mike Elko talk with was not a cockiness. It was just like a very matter of fact. We know we're good and we know what we have to prove. Let's go prove it. It was kind of like they're not going to say too much, not too little, but they believe in what they've done so far and they believe they're going to be good.
Yeah, and they believe they can replicate and exceed it. But they also know that I think they learned last year. You could just tell from talking to them. I've been talking to them, here, and they know how fine a line it is to fall back, and they don't want to go back. They want to actually go forward, and they know that if they don't match or exceed the work ethic and the commitment level they had last season, and not just during the offseason, but week to week in the season, that they will fall back, and they also know that they won't exceed it without at least matching that. You try to exceed it, but they get it. This is a team of players that get it. They are receiving the coach's message and they're living by that message in terms of how hard they're working and what they're putting into it. And right now at this point, that's all you can do is that and have the players to get it done. And they do have the players. I don't know where A&M would rank. Let's say 1 to 40 on your roster, the guys that really play want 1 to 35, whatever that number is, where you want to cut it off. And I don't know where A&M sits, but I know if there's anyone with more talent than them, it's not by much. So maybe it's Georgia. I know they got a ton of D linemen this year. Maybe it's Texas. They certainly have the highest end, probably maybe in the country this year. They might be like last year's Ohio State, where they've got 5 potential first rounders and maybe 3 potential second, third rounders. But still, when you line up and you look at their talent level in Georgia or Ohio State, it's not like it used to be when Nick Saban had Bama rolling or when Kirby Smart in Georgia. It's not this big gap. So, hell, it might, everybody's making a big deal about the talent Kiffin's assembled in Baton Rouge. That's not any better than a half dozen teams in the SEC. It's not better. Just period. It's not. I'm sorry. So yes, he has a lot of talent for year one as a coach. And they have enough talent to win, but there's not a big difference. So my point about A&M is there is more than enough talent to win individually every game on your schedule. There's not a team you're playing where you go, man, they're just way ahead of us.
Yeah.
It's just not the case. And you don't play Georgia, and you don't play Ohio State. You don't play Oregon. If they'll be up there again, but still don't think Oregon they might overwhelm you if you're not fast enough. But yeah, I just think A&M, there's nothing talent-wise that you can say, well, everybody has a position that you'd like to upgrade the talent on. A&M's no exception. You know, there's everybody has that they're dealing with. But yeah, it's there. So there should be, and you've got a returning quarterback. So there should be nothing holding you back other than like all those teams I mentioned. It's going to be what's your record in close games.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to somebody a minute ago at breakfast, and who were talking about whoever, Bud Elliott picking them 5-4, and I said, man, like get to 6-3 on that schedule in the SEC and look at the wins it would take. And by the way, you'd also have to beat Arizona State, who may end up this season ranked in the top 25. Yeah. But in conference, like, to get to 7-2 to get to the playoff, right? Here's a way to look at how difficult that is on this schedule. This is not exclusive to A&M. It's most of the league this year. But to get to 7-2, you have to, let's say you beat Arkansas and Kentucky. You get them at home, okay? You need to win those 2 games, obviously. That leaves 7 SEC games. So let's say 3-1 and 3-1 and 2-1. That gets you to 7-2. That's 5-2 in those games plus Arkansas and Kentucky. So 3-1 and 2-1. Let's start with a 2-1 down there at the end. So you're going to have to go 2-1, Tennessee, Texas, and at Oklahoma.
Right.
So let's say you beat Tennessee at home. Again, far from a given, but let's say you do. So you have to split with Texas, who you're 0-2 against, and who's going to be preseason top 3. And at Oklahoma, who most people are picking to return to the playoffs and have in the top 10. A lot of people do. You have to win one of those to get 2-1. Now to go 3-1, at Missouri, at Alabama, at South Carolina, at LSU. You got to go 3-1 of those 4. Let's say you go get Missouri again, because they're going to be the worst of those. Well, maybe it's that, but you go get Missouri again. Now I almost have to give you at South Carolina, which you and I and Elko and everybody else knows how tough that's going to be. And they'll be tough if they're the 24th ranked team. Forget if they figure out a way to put it together. But I'm giving you at Missouri, at South Carolina, and Tennessee at home. And now you still have to split on the road LSU, Bama. So giving you South Carolina and Missouri on the road and Tennessee at home, you still will have to go 2-2 in 4 games, 3 on the road, OU, LSU, Alabama, and Texas. You have to go 2-2. That's giving you both Columbias and the Vols at home. And you'd still have to split those 4 games, top 5 team, top 10 team, Alabama at Bryant-Denny, LSU in Death Valley, Lane Kiffin, Kalen DeBoer. Look at the quarterbacks in there, Sam Levitt, Mateer, Arch Manning, and you'd still have to split to get to 7-2 in the league. It is not just for A&M, but for everyone, it is going to be absolutely brutal.
Could you see a world where, and I'm sure you can, but I mean, I don't know how realistic it is, a world where 2 9-3 teams are going to the SEC championship game and what that means for the SEC in the playoffs?
I mean, that would be you could take me through it off the top of my head. No, I don't see a world where that would happen. I could see one, and if that team loses and is sitting at 9-4, they're going to be left out of the playoff, which will be crazy. Say it's Texas, just because I know they've got Ohio State or OU. Well, let's say Texas, because Ohio State's going to be good. I don't think we don't know about Michigan will. If they lost to Ohio State, right, and then they lost 2 games in the conference, let's say for our fun, let's say they lost in College Station, and let's say they lost on the road to Tennessee.
Okay.
So that would include wins over Oklahoma, that would include wins over Oklahoma and Dallas, at LSU. Who else? What are some other impressive ones they'd have there?
Did you say at LSU? You did say that? Florida, Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
Ole Miss.
Missouri.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would beat, if you lost to Ohio State and at Tennessee and at A&M, you would beat LSU on the road. You would beat Oklahoma and Dallas, and you would beat Ole Miss and Trinidad Chambliss and Kewan Lacey at home. You'd be 9-3. That would be a 9-3 that would get you into the college football playoff. I think everyone would say, hey, Texas is 9-3 is actually better than any other 9-3. It's better than a whole lot of 10-2s not in the SEC. I think, and plus with their brand, right? They're going to get in. If 7-2 for them got them in on some kind of tie break to the SEC title game, and let's say they lost a close game to a Georgia, they're not getting in at 9-4.
Especially if they lost their last 2 games.
They're not getting in at 9-4. I don't think they would anyway. So it's pretty crazy to think of, but yeah.
But that's everybody.
But I don't think that would be the only, to me, them or OU, the kind of 3 law. I just think, I don't think it'll happen.
So you today would say, I don't think Texas or Oklahoma goes 9-3?
No, I think they could.
Okay.
And I think either one of them, because depending on how good Michigan is, could be the SEC team that would get in at 9-3. More so than most, because I think both of their schedules are really tough. So is A&M's, by the way. But you were saying if they got to the title game, I'm like, yeah, imagine a 9-4.
But I'm just wondering.
I don't know that would get you to the title game.
I'm wondering what that would mean, though, for the SEC and playoff chances, right? So last year they had 5 teams in the playoffs. If you have a 10-2, 9-3 team in the SEC championship game, maybe you have another 9-3 team that loses on a tie break and a couple of 8-4s. You only get 2 or 3 teams in the playoffs.
I think you're going nightmare scenario. I think there's going to be way more. I mean, like, teams are going to be a little better than others. Teams are going to catch breaks that others didn't. Yep. Hell, it might be A&M, Like, what if A&M, what if LSU in year 1 under Kiffin is an 8-4, or you catch them in September before they get good? What if South Carolina struggles and Beamer is kind of out by then?
Mm-hmm.
What if Tennessee can't get their quarterback stuff figured out? What if Bama, that's about right at midseason. What if they're not getting the quarterback play they want and they're kind of going back and forth? Like, I'm not saying all of those things happen, but a couple of them happen, and that A&M schedule looks much more manageable, and maybe they're 10-2 and everyone's going, they got lucky. What if Mateer breaks his hand again? I'm just making up things. Somebody out of the 7 or so contenders, 8, count Tennessee and LSU, I'll get you to 8. Somebody out of those, a couple teams are going to have a clearer path than others. And I think Georgia's schedule is so manageable. I think they're going to be, I'd be shocked if they weren't 10-2 or better. So let's just say Georgia's 1. And then out of those other 7, a couple of them are either going to be better than the others, or catch breaks. So I think you're going to have I think you'll have at least 3 10-win teams out of the SEC this year, and then I still could see 2 9s. That's about my limit, though. You're not going to have you're not going to have an 8-4. You're not going to have 3 9-3 teams getting to that field.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I do want to point out Oklahoma's early half of the schedule, to me, will dictate what that game looks like midseason beyond. Kate, if you can put Oklahoma's schedule up for me for a minute, but they can go 2-2 to start the season, and that's because they play at Michigan, at Georgia.
They have to beat Michigan.
Yeah,
I don't think they have an option. They have to go 2-1 in those 3. If they go 1-2, they're going to play the final how many games is that? That's 3, 4. So the final 8 games on the brink, where they could lose one, but probably not. And you look at that back-to-back of Ole Miss and A&M there, at Florida and at Missouri and South Carolina around it. Those OU's going to be better than those teams, but like I said, that gap is not enough.
Yeah.
So if you play poorly in any of those 3 games, that's it. It's over for them if they went 1-2.
Did you eat any Italian food when you were in Tampa?
No, Cuban.
God, you're so smart.
Chilean sea bass, and of course, the worst restaurant I went to is the one you and Olin picked. It never fails.
Which one did we pick?
That place we went to Sunday. I didn't want to say it on air.
That place was great. Sorry.
No, it wasn't, David, and you know it wasn't. There was no atmosphere. There was no atmosphere. There was no. It was not good. It was the worst seafood I had when I was there. Like, of course, you and Olin pick it, and it's the worst restaurant that I went to on the trip. I'm just saying, it never fails.
But I don't get credit
I
for the
trust you on a lot of things.
I don't get credit for the Cuban place.
You said it wasn't even that good.
Yeah, because I know Cuban. It was all right.
You know Cuban, but the people of Florida do not, because they loved it.
The people of Florida who aren't Cuban?
The restaurant? Oh, yeah, they're not Cuban in Florida. You're right.
No.
Another great point. Listen.
I said it was all right.
Listen.
You know what? I'm
right.
sorry that I defend my mother who made homemade. Now you're talking about my mother's cooking. I see what you're doing.
Well, your mom should start a restaurant.
Well, she's 85.
Give her some help. I'd go to it.
Yeah.
Listen.
I had a thing I was going to transition to, but go
The
ahead.
point is you NOB, and he's going to get way more offended by this, and you're going to pretend to be offended, and you're going to laugh. He's going to actually be, if he's listening right now, he's stewing. He might come down here. Y'all are two of the worst restaurant pickers I've ever seen. Not just at TexAgs, in ever. And so the days of y'all picking, like, we can't do this anymore.
So
Y'all
why-
can when I'm not on the trip.
So why do I get credit for picking it when I didn't pick it? I like it. I liked it.
Nobody liked it.
Nobody?
Nobody.
I think our waitress sucked. That's what I think. And it ruined the experience.
She was cool to me.
No. She like looked at you like this. Like,
she did.
Yeah, she twice.
Looked at me. It wasn't like that.
Oh, really? How was it?
Kidding. That was a joke.
I was trying to talk about
I heard
Italian
somebody
food.
clap back there.
Yeah. Fritella, all right?
Yeah.
So now that you're back.
Tracy Munden looks at me like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, he loves me.
Well, daily lunch special. So if you're thinking about lunch, I know you just had breakfast. 11 to 3, warm and an inviting atmosphere at Fritella Italian Cafe. Perfect spot to unwind during your lunch break. Great place to go for dinner as well. If you're craving pizza, the Copper Dome Pizza turns out thin crust Roman-style pizzas. Check it out, 3901 South Texas Avenue in Bryan. Discover why it's more than a meal. It's a tradition. It's Fritella Italian Cafe. And we're back. TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. Hour number 3 of the program. I found it very interesting, Billy. Not interesting. I was jealous. I think it was 2 hours after you left or something. I felt like you were already back having lunch with the staff here. Like I was like, wait, it was just here. And then 12 hours later, we got home.
That was rough. Luke came and met me in Spring or Cyprus, I guess, in Cyprus. It was crazy how late, because I think I was probably asleep before y'all landed, and I damn near wanted to fall asleep before you guys took off because it was a pretty exhausting trip. I wasn't out too late during all that, but I mean I was out past midnight every night, and then other than Sunday when I hung out with y'all. But
why do you say it like that? I was actually surprised.
You guys, it was a wholesome night. We did dinner.
You did not invite me to anything
ice
this year.
cream. Nuno wouldn't have any ice cream, which pissed me off.
Is that why you didn't invite me to hang out? Usually you invite me one night to hang out. I got 0 invites.
Yeah, I should have.
That's all right.
I should have.
You
know why I should have? You know why though? Because out there in the Eastern time zone, we weren't having to go on till 9 a.m. So that was nice.
It's still the same time.
But no, it is not.
It is the same time.
No.
The show is at 8, so the wake up is the same time. In Central. It's the same time.
No, it's not.
Yes, your circadian rhythm.
No,
it takes a few days to adapt.
No, it's not. If you go to bed when the clock says one thing and you wake up when the clock says one thing, that is still the same number of hours that you slept and rested.
Sure.
Everything's starting at the same, but it's not.
It's the same.
This guy, so what he does is he keeps all of his watch clocks, everything the way he talks is Central time zone when you're in the Eastern time zone. It's the most confusing, silly thing I've ever heard because he'll be like, well, you're on at 10. Well, we have you for 10. And I'm like, okay. So
Central. I always say Central.
10. No, you don't. You're on at 10. And I'm like, all right, well then I'll be there at 10 Tampa time. And I'll walk over there and be like, no, it's not for another hour.
You have an open seat on the show. There's not a time. It's your show.
It'll be like, well, when so-and-so on? They're on at 10. And
Central.
I'll get over there at 9. No, they're not on for another hour. It's the silliest thing I've ever seen anyone do.
I think it's the best thing I've ever done.
But you did a great job hosting the show. And a lot of people were real complimentary around, like, that talked to me on the side. And then they're like, and they were like, why isn't he at dinner? And I'm like, well,
I don't invite him. He's not fun. There's no fun Nuno.
Honestly, a lot of it is that I don't think you'll go. I would have called you to go to Lionel Richie Wednesday night.
I would have gone.
I should have called you because I walked by the arena and it was Earth, Wind, and Fire and Lionel Richie right by our hotel. I was like, why are we not going to this?
I would have gone.
I would have loved to have seen
I'm a big-time partier.
I'd have been going all night long.
Yeah.
Dancing on the ceiling.
I would have taken Paul Feinbaum, my new good friend.
I would have seen you walk in. I would have been like, hello.
Is it me you're looking?
Finally caught it after my third Lionel reference.
I think we should probably talk some football even though we're past.
What about Stuck on You?
Oh, Stuck on You?
That's
what about the Commodores? Yeah.
Easy Like Sunday Morning, Brick House.
I'm not a big Brick House guy.
What's the Commodores one that I love? Oh man, I'll keep going, I'll come back to it. But I'm giving you back your name.
What was the name of the guy performing yesterday? Like Cody Hernandez or something? Somebody. What was the dude's name that?
I'm looking for a good time. You don't know that one?
No, I don't know. It's maybe the way you say it.
Sail On.
Ah!
Sail on, honey. Okay.
Sounds like a country song.
A lot of Lionel. I always thought he sounded country.
Uh-huh.
And then he did a country crossover album. It was really good.
He did a country
I've got a
crossover?
signed copy of it.
Huh.
From our boy Josh, Stage Left Ag.
Yeah. What up, Josh?
We went to see Lionel, and Kenny Rogers came out with him, and my date to Lionel was, I'll just feed y'all's fuel. Keep in mind, this is like 12 years ago. My date was too young for Lionel, like probably like 26 at the time, whatever. Oh, is that Kenny? We were like, Kenny, and she was like, is that Kenny Chesney? It's Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers chicken.
Either you can't see very far. So.
All right, we will actually talk football on the other side. I want to talk to you.
We're going to go long today too. I hope you know that.
I didn't know that because I wanted to go to sleep immediately after the show and prepare.
One segment.
Okay.
One segment.
And preseason kickoff. I got to get ready for that. So that's tomorrow, by the way.
Right now, we'll hit a break. We will come back with a little bit more. Let me do this. We'll just hit a break. We'll figure it out on the other side. All right, we'll do it now. Never mind. When it comes to your money and your peace of mind, it starts with the right team. That right team is our good friends at Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors. They're an independent fiduciary firm serving clients all across Texas. No commissions, no sales pitches, just trusted advice tailored to you. They have a team of 18 professionals, including 9 CFPs, a CFA, and a CPA, and their expertise does run deep at Paragon, and credentials matter, and so does your future. Visit paragon-adv.com or give them a call, 979-693-3907 for your free consultation today. It is Paragon Financial Advisors, integrity, expertise, and trust. Paragon Financial Advisors.
So breaking news, doesn't affect TexAgs at all. But LeBron James is going where, Kaylee Dreyer?
LeBron James is signing with the 76ers for a 2-year, $8 million deal.
Does this move the needle for the world? Like, do people care like they used to care?
I feel like not as much, but I do think it's pretty big news. I mean, the 76ers is definitely interesting.
Sham says, breaking, James is signing with the Sixers on a 2-year, $8 million deal with a player option. Clutch Sports Group and Clutch CEO, blah, 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 tells ESPN. LeBron says, I thought I was done when the season was over. I wasn't ready to announce it. I needed some time to really decide, but wasn't sure. I played my last game. I was honest.
Liar.
You don't believe him?
No, I don't think he ever thought he was done. No, hell no. He never thought he was done, my ass. That guy's gonna retire without like a appreciation lap around the country.
Yeah, you're right. I like Giannis, so I'm glad he's not going to Miami because I couldn't like Giannis if they played together. Just like I used to like Dwayne Wade, but
LeBron makes you hate everybody plays with.
Yeah, that's how it works.
See,
Except for Luka.
I don't love him, but I don't have like anti feelings. I just don't. I'm just not a LeBron guy. I appreciate the longevity. I just think it's a lot. It's a lot that unless older school thinkers like me and you just don't. We're not used to that. You know.
Yep.
I don't like today's Tom Brady, but you think about Jordan and Gretzky and Brady and Jeter.
Jeter. Yeah.
I don't even put Peyton quite in that category, but he was a star though. But like
Dan Marino.
No,
come on, man.
I'm talking about champions. I'm talking about just like iconic athletes of our time. You know, Tyson kind of gets put in there because his prime was so incredible, but he really shouldn't be with that group. But like, who else is in it? Magic Johnson's in that group. Tiger Woods is in that group.
I respect
it's a short list.
I respect the longevity. That I do respect. I don't respect.
And he's
fantastic.
One of the
3 best players ever.
Yeah. Maybe number 2.
Yeah. Definitely not number 1. But I'm just done with that sideshow. I just think it's too much of a.
I agree with that. But I do think that's an interesting pick of a team. That is a very interesting pick of a team. The crew out there's already got him in the finals. I was like, did you guys are just going to pretend like Brunson and the Knicks don't exist? And they kind of rolled their eyes like they were like a flash in the pan.
I know we're going to go long, so we'll get into some A&M stuff probably on that side. I did want to ask you, by the way, I thought Sark for the most part came across very likable yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I like Sark in there. I like Arch is the one that's very likable.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that you can really like, but not root for because he's wearing the wrong colors. But there's nothing about him that you wouldn't like, the way he carries himself, the way he's handled, the attention, and what kind of teammate he seems like. And
seems like a good kid.
By the way, a guy that really it comes off that he absolutely loves football, which is it definitely shows. So I respect the way Art, I think he teammate, person, character, all of the above. But I will not let that keep me from saying I still need to see him make strides in terms of his passing accuracy. I don't care about this number that these Longhorns are putting out. First 3 games, last 10, and they're going crazy because he threw 20 touchdowns in his last 10 games. That's 2 a game. It's fine. It's nothing crazy. Interceptions are low. I like that. They act like Kentucky, Mississippi State. And by the way, their fans and even my co-host would love to give him a lot of credit for how he played at Georgia, but it's still, you're the quarterback of a team that produced 1 touchdown. And the same thing's held against Marcel for the Miami game. When you're a quarterback and you can only get your team in the end zone once in a game, which they also did in the second half of the season against Kentucky, it's nothing to write home about. So I think he's got to get better. And, he sounds like the type of guy that will.
Yeah.
And I do think he was certainly getting better as the season was going on. So I don't think anyone's crazy for thinking that's going to continue through the season. His ceiling is as high as any quarterback, in my opinion, in college football. Maybe he and C.J. Carr, to me, are the 2, even more so than Dante Moore.
What I wanted to ask, though, and by the way, this is not a singular situation to Texas, but Sark yesterday talking about the cuts.
Yeah, I didn't. There was one thing I didn't like that he said, and I liked Sark's delivery. I thought he did a really good job at media days. I went back and was watching last night because I was traveling during that. I thought I liked his answers about the rivalries. I liked that he didn't like them putting that thing up, ridiculing Elko after. And it's all in like everything's fair game. But you know me, I don't like when the admins make fun of coaches and players.
Yeah.
Like you make fun and poke fun at A&M and the Aggie fans if you're going back, but like I don't like when they, and neither did Sark.
Yeah.
And so I was glad to see it. Man, it didn't surprise me because that kind of stuff, remember he stopped.
He's the one who stopped them on the
planting the flag here. Like I liked what he was saying about the rivalry and karma and handling it right. My only problem with what he said, because everything he said about that topic, salary cap basically, is true. It's roster management. It's where we're at. You have to make tough decisions. A&M lost Cam Dewberry to Alabama. They lost T.J. Shanahan to Penn State. He's now at Florida. But they would have liked to have kept those two guys. Dewberry started a lot of games, and Shanahan was still young and talented and started a few games. But when it's the ask versus, I'll give you a good example here in a second. But my only thing, an A&M example, my only thing I didn't like about what he did was I don't think he should have mentioned those players by name.
I agree.
And I don't think he was trying to. Well, he was trying to, because at the end he said, I think you guys would all agree that our skill, what we replaced him with basically is better. I don't think you should have done that. Everyone could assume who they are. You didn't have to say their names. But I also get what the reality is. Parker Livingstone wanted more money than they thought they should pay for that. Trey Wisner, if he got as much as people are claiming he got to go to Florida State, that's too much. I think a Rylan Kennedy would be similar in Florida State. So Rylan's a good example, and Cam Dewberry. Like, if they're going to pay those guys that much more, you say, hey, here's what we can do. You have to come, and I can say names. I don't think a head coach should.
Sure, I agree with that.
I don't. And so, like, to me, Texas went and got Hollywood Smothers and Rayleigh Brown, okay, who led the Big 12 and the ACC in rushing last year. A&M stuck with the only veteran that's coming back is Reuben Owens, and they said, we're going to ride with Reuben Owens. There's some thought that goes into that, and if Reuben Owens would have come in and said, hey, I want $1 million a year, then you have to look and go, well, what does $1 million get us out there? And if it gets you more production, if it gets you, a quote unquote better back, then, hey, Reuben, sorry, like, that's too high, we think, for your production, and we're going to go. And then you go your separate ways. But when you're evaluating Reuben Owens versus guys like Smothers and Brown, you look and you go, okay, these guys did this, but he did this in the Big 12, he did this in the ACC. Now we're going to look at tape, and Reuben did this in the SEC, and we're going to look at yards per carry, and we're going to look at, we're going to get, go with our gut on what we think here. And we're also going to factor in what they cost. And I'm making up a number of Smothers and Brown were each $700, $800, $900 million. You factor that in as well to your decision. So the decision in this case was Reuben's the best for us. He's been in the system. We believe in him. We think he's going to take another jump. Here's, and you look at all that and you made the decision to do that. Texas looked at Trey Wisner and what he was asking for, and looked at his production in all games outside of A&M and I guess OU, and said that's a wild number for his production. Same with Parker. We're moving on another direction. I think with Parker, they said we need to spend about $3 million plus to get Cam Coleman. So sorry,
right?
You weren't going to get much more anyway, but you're damn sure not getting that. And he went and got it. And Wisner went and got it. And Rylan Kennedy and Cam Dewberry went and got it. So
are they getting better running backs, you think, Texas?
Oh, without question. Than they had?
Yeah.
No doubt. I mean, because Cedric Baxter's so, oft injured. He was a 5-star back in the day. But Yeah, they definitely look. They upgraded significantly at receiver and running back, and that's the part of Arch that you. All right, and I think I think A&M kind of just, it's funny because people were asking me, what did you think about A&M in the portal? I think they did a great job, but I just don't think you always know that right away with the Aggies. Like, people weren't jumping up and down for Cassius or Will Lee, or I'm talking about outside of Aggieland, or Majay Reed Adams, or, I'm trying to think of who were some other portal guy. Craver. They were jumping up and down over KC, but not Craver as much. Ratcliffe, like, these are all guys that end up being like multiple year portal starters that went on or will go on to the NFL. And I think that's what you're going to see this staff recruit more so than the Cam Colemans of the world. But they will recruit the Cam Colemans. Like, KC Concepcion was their Cam Coleman. Anto Saka might be, he's a 1-year guy that you hope can play at like an all-conference level. So they'll do it, but generally Elko likes multi-year transfers.
All right, we'll hit a break. We'll come back with a final segment, but if you're a premium subscriber, you can watch the overtime because we're going to just continue on for a few minutes after the show on TexAgs.com. All right, Burgers for the Brave parking lot party. Bubba's 33 is our partners. They give us our post-game meal for home games. They're fantastic. The food is great when you go to Bubba's 33, but they love to give back and join them this month for a wrap-up of an incredible month of community support for Burgers for the Brave parking lot party. They're going to announce their final fundraiser total for Homes for Our Troops, recognize 2 outstanding local veterans, enjoy live music, shop with local vendors, and make one last push to support the amazing cause. Bring the whole family. Kids can enjoy face painting and balloon artists while everyone takes part in an evening of great food, entertainment, and community. It's the perfect family outing and a chance to make a lasting difference for our nation's heroes. It is Bubba's 33. Check them out on Highway 6. You're going to love it. Bubba's 33.
The Inconvenient Truth here on TexAgs Live. We are presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We are in the Rollo Insurance. Wasn't that a movie? I think that was a movie.
It was.
Yeah. Was it
It's a podcast, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyway, we're going to go long, so we're going to do TexAgs overtime. We've got about 2 minutes left on terrestrial radio.
One thing I want to say on your terrestrial radio, I was listening this morning to terrestrial radio or XM, and
What
I heard
did I ruin? What did I
you
mess
know,
up?
it was Neuheisel and maybe Childers.
Oh.
Neuheisel was, talking up A&M, and
Neuheisel
said,
was.
I gotta see if, I think it was Childers, who was he the one that made a run at Olin?
Yeah.
But he was like, can Marcel Reed win a big game? And I'm just like,
bro.
And that was kind of a thing that was going on over there too. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like that games just because of one game, the other one just leaves your memory altogether. On the road in South Bend in front of Touchdown Jesus against a really good football team that finished 11-2 or whatever, should have been
in the
playoff, and a fourth down touchdown pass, was it 4th and 13 for a touchdown to win the game, drive down the whole field to win it late, 400 yards, and people like this are saying, can he win a big game? It's ridiculous. And it's more, I agree with, can he make that final step or the next step? Because he does have 2 years left. Can he make that next step to be an all SEC first or second team QB, to be a quarterback that wins games in the playoffs and kind of perform like Chambliss did in the playoffs versus like what he and Mateer did, where they didn't get it done at home? Okay, that's a fair question. But to say, can he win a big game, it's so stupid. And like, they act like going to Baton Rouge at night was not a... Guys, remember, all of you people were picking LSU to beat A&M at home in that game, and Nussmeier, and, they were ranked, and this was just a very difficult proposition for A&M, and they went out there, and Marcel had 4 touchdowns or whatever. So it's crazy to me how much focus they put, and I saw the stat, 25 touchdowns, 8 picks, 0 touchdowns, 4 picks. The 2 games.
Yeah.
Those 2 games have really shaped how people perceive Marcel, and I think it's absolutely ridiculous. If those were the only 2 really good teams A&M played all year, I would say I'd put a little more stock into it. But you've got Notre Dame. There were 3 of them, and that doesn't even count some of the other challenges that he performed better in than a lot of the other quarterbacks that get more benefit of the doubt.
Well, South Carolina, while not a big win in the term of ranking, what he was up against in the second half and how flawless of a second half he played should be part of the conversation,
I just think people are giving OU a lot more benefit. Like, they are assuming that OU is fixing like this running game and this O-line